Oh, I didn't fix the camera. Always something. All right. Hello, everybody. Hopefully that sounds good. Someone tell me if it does not. And welcome to the stream. Sorry for the last minute, I don't know, scheduling or decision to do the stream. My wife told me the other day that she was maybe not going to be home tonight. And so that's always like right where my mind goes. Is like, ooh, I can stream. And so that's what we're doing. And before we stream, just to give people a chance to kind of file in here, or whatever, I'm just going to do my normal thing and just talk for a while. So anybody that's only here because they maybe saw on Twitter or something that that I was going to be talking about the MiSTer. If you're really just here for MiSTer information, then this might not be the stream for you. And
are you already live?
See, he ruined the goddamn surprise.
Whoops.
That's okay. We have a special guest tonight. If you can't tell, what was that show? This Is Your Life or something? The old show, and then you start talking.
Get a Life, I think you're talking about.
I don't think that's it. Well, anyway, there he is. We have Corey tonight, so how awesome is that? So
yeah, it's kind of impromptu.
Yeah, but obviously I'm getting better at hooking stuff up so that I was able to do it on short notice. So
here's my cat.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, while you were off, I saw your kid, by the way, messing around behind your chair. So
for real?
You might be missing something.
Did you talk to her?
Oh gosh, no! That would freak her out. Like, she doesn't know I'm on the phone. Like, she'll think someone's trying to. That's what I would have thought when I was her age. So someone's trying to kidnap me or something. So anyway, just before we get started, I have to do my normal talking about stuff for a while, just because that's what I like to do.
Sure.
So the first thing I was going to mention, just because I thought it was cool, I kind of wanted to wait. I was hoping that Rory would show up, but maybe Rory will have to catch this on the archive or whatever. I posted this on Twitter, but nobody seemed like they really cared that much, which is fine. But I kind of care, so I'm going to talk about it anyway. Here in Sacramento, we have this like community newspaper called the Sacramento News and Review. And, it's one of these like newspapery type things where it's just like free. They have those things that look like newspaper machines, but you can just have one. And they've been making this for so long that this was something that my dad and I used to read together when I was a kid. So it was pretty cool when they emailed me I don't know, a few months ago, and said they were writing this article and that they wanted to kind of talk to me about it and feature me in the article. And so this guy he's right there, his name there, Patrick Hyun Wilson. Came out to my house actually and spent hours at my house interviewing me and taking pictures of all my stuff. And this just finally came out last week. And the reason that it came out, I'll talk about next very quickly. But it's just this article about it has like a section about me. It has a section about a homebrew game programmer. It's got a section about like a Twitch streamer, et cetera, et cetera. But of all the pictures that he took in my house, I just thought it was cool. So this is the first picture in the article. So if you go read the article online, this is like the thumbnail. And I just thought that was that's why I wanted Rory to be here, because it's the Atari Age poster that's right over my right shoulder.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was sent in by Rory. So, Rory, you're kind of indirectly famous now. So I thought that was cool. And then they did put my picture in here, sitting right where I'm sitting now. Yeah, there you go. Not a very good picture, but I mean, any picture of me is really not a very good picture. So,
well, we never get to see that angle.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
of your setup.
That's very true. But anyway, you can read this article online if you want. It's up there, Sacramento News and Review. You can check it out. But the reason that this article appeared in this week's issue of Sacramento News and Review is that this last Sunday was the Sac Gamers Expo, and
The first one.
What's that?
Is it the first one?
It's like the fifth or sixth one actually, but I for whatever reason have never gone, so it was my first one. And it was kind of funny because, I got invited, obviously, to 3 conventions this year. And this is the one that I actually got invited to first, like way back in like May. And I thought, that's cool. I've never been to a convention before. I don't really know what it's like. I mean, when I say that, I mean, I've never been to a convention before, like as a YouTuber. I just normally am there as a visitor. And so I just figured this would be like my Training Wheels convention because, it's a smaller convention. But then, of course, I ended up going to Retro World and also to AVGC first. And then this one ended up being last. And it was definitely a really interesting experience in that, I think I kind of posted something on Twitter that night. I was kind of maybe in a little bit of a bad mood. And I think I said that it was like a waste of my time. I said, aside from having a few meaningful conversations, it was a waste of my time, which I guess technically is true, but that's really not a, nice thing to say, I suppose. But it was a very well-run convention. So nothing bad about it. I'm not saying anything bad about the convention. It was just, and I didn't really pick up on this beforehand, this was not a retro gaming convention. It was just a gaming convention. And it just had a much younger crowd. And like I was the only invited guest who was like a retro gamer. So
so that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
so,
tough.
but I didn't. It's just like a learning experience because now, like, you look at the guest list and it's like I should have really picked up on that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, one of the regular viewers of CGQ Plus, Ian, came all the way over, and I had a pretty long, awesome conversation with him. So that was cool. And then there's a local gaming podcast where they had invited me to be on their podcast, and I haven't done it yet. But I got to meet 2 of those guys, and that was also really cool. And then right next to me, so I don't watch a lot of gaming content on YouTube. So I always say that when I say I've never heard of a channel, that's a reflection on me, not a reflection on the channel. And so it was this channel, Pixel Game Squad. You know about that one, Corey?
Oh yeah, they
Pixel?
used to be. It's the Retro Liberty guys.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
they're very. I mean, they're often compared to the Game Chasers.
Oh,
but they're
okay.
More,
that's what he said to
me.
me.
They came back like a year and a half ago or something like that, and it's a lot more like.
He self-described
they're
as a more
excited.
family. He said he was a more they were like a more family-friendly version of Game Changer.
Yeah.
Game Chaser. But anyway, I always feel bad because like he introduced himself. I don't remember who, whatever. It doesn't matter. I started talking to this
Aaron?
one guy. Yeah, I think. And he was mentioning how, I went through this period where I binge watched your whole show, and I thought that was really cool.
That's cool.
But I didn't really get to talk to any. It's weird. They had a booth and they were selling stuff, but they were literally never at their table because they were like shooting an episode of their show at the convention. So they were like busy, like working.
Right.
So, and then on the other side, I had this guy. So again, I don't know who these people are. I had this guy Loxton, who I guess he's more popular than I am, but he does a show about like Pokemon. So I don't, I'm just not.
Is he on something like called like Treesicle or something like that? Is that what it is?
No, that's a separate guy, I think. But
okay.
I met the Treesicle guy in Connecticut.
I've heard this guy's name, but I've never seen his stuff before.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was fine. He was next to me, and I introduced myself to him just because I'm his next door neighbor. I'm like, oh hey, and he was just like, yeah, whatever, and which I don't care. And then like next to him was this guy. I think his name is like Andre Meadows or something. I think his show is called something like Black Nerd Comedy or something like that.
I mean, he's been around for a long time too.
Yeah, and so he was there, and there was some other guy there that. What's that?
Lined up. There's some big guests lined up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think that these guys play. These are like they have a slightly younger audience than I do, I would say.
Yeah,
and then there was this other guy, and I just can't remember his name, but he was nice, so I don't, he was cool. And then I guess like sort of the big person there was Arlo. You know Arlo, Corey?
Yeah.
He has like the pup. Yeah, it looks kind of like a fat Grover, the puppet,
Yeah.
not the guy. Anyway, he was never around because he was doing something called Arlo Palooza, which takes its own whole room somewhere in the facility, and I don't know, but anyway, we had to do a panel, and the people that run the show just basically decided I have these 5 YouTubers, they're all going to be on the same panel. And so we go in and we just have a big long table and the 5 of us are all sitting at the table. And it was actually a really crowded room. Like none of the panels I took part in and the other cons had rooms that were anywhere near this crowded. But I literally sat there for an hour and nobody asked me like a single question. Just because, and again, I'm not upset. It's just it wasn't my crowd. Like they were really only there to see Arlo and the Loxton guy. Like even the other 2 guys were they were like participating because like those 4 guys all knew each other. And I was literally on the end just sitting there. And it just felt like super awkward. But again, it's just like those were just not my people. So it's like, it wasn't a big deal, but it was just like,
Yeah.
it was almost humorous to be
like
honest, because I'm standing there or sitting there rather. And I was like, whatever. But, just to give you an idea of sort of the types of people that were at this convention, because it's local, it was easy for me to bring stuff with me to sell, like not stickers and whatnot, but like games that I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not so worried about like prices. I just want this crap gone, And some stuff is like harder to price. Like I had like some GameCube games or Wii games that, I looked up the selling price on eBay and just like charged, 25 or 30% less. But then like I had this whole stack of loose PC Engine games, just the Hue cards, right? And I'm not going to go through and price them all individually. And it's not like there's a magical chase in there or something, So I just basically, I had them all like laid out on the table, and it just said loose PC Engine Hue cards, $2 each. Which, I mean, yes, screaming deal right now. To be fair, there was 3 sports games in there. There was
like TV sports.
There was Final Match Tennis, Super Basketball, which I don't know if that came out here or not because I don't think that's TV sports basketball. And then one of the World Stadium games, the Namco baseball game. But other than that, there was 2 shooters. There was Hanny in the Sky, which I don't know if you remember Bithead's description of what Hanny in the Sky is. It's not family friendly. And then Dragon Spirit. And then there was like a bunch of platformers, but they were like, if you look up lists of like...
Spirit, that's like worth $2 loose no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, like I said, there was like the Monogatari platformer and some other... Like, if you look up lists of like, hidden gem PC Engine games, some of those were those games, So $2 a piece for these games was like a screaming deal. And they sat there like all day. And finally, it was one of the show. What's that?
I was gonna say nobody bought them all day. That's incredible.
Well, not for many hours. And then people would come by and they were like, what
are these?
What are these? And I was like, oh, they're because at this point I haven't really done a good job of reading the room, And so like, well, like what are these things? And I'm like, oh, they're PC Engine games. And they're just like, what now? And I'm like, PC Engine. And they're like, I don't. And I was, but what's my channel about? Like for some people, it scratches the nostalgic itch for guys my age, and for maybe other people, it's like I'm educating people a little bit, So like I'm not going to be like a jerk. So I'm like, oh, the PC Engine is like that's just the Japanese TurboGrafx 16, and for some people that was like, oh, and other people still didn't know what I was talking about, which was, but then this one guy comes up and like, you would think he was high, but like, I think I'm good enough at knowing when someone's high that this guy wasn't high, but he kind of, cause he was like fascinated by these PC Engine games the same way if you were like swimming in the ocean and like a seahorse swam up to you, you would just be fascinated by it. Like it was just like, it's like, what? Wow, it's like what are these things? And I told him what they are, and he's like, well, like
what?
What is that? Like, what is that like? Like, what are those like to play? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, like, what is the console like? I'm like, oh, well, it's got like this, horizontally loading slot, and you stick it in there and you turn it on. He's like, wow, like what? like what are the games like, like when you play them. And I didn't even really understand like what he was asking me, but I'm just like, oh, like I'm trying to explain it, but he was like super fascinated by that. And then anyway, so finally this lady comes up who's like one of the show, like one of the organizers, but she seemed like she was more like higher up the food chain, like maybe she was like second in command or something, and she came by and she was like really looking at them and she knew what they were. I was like, oh, well, do you have a way to play PC Engine games? And she's like, oh yeah, I have the adapter for my TurboGrafx. And I'm just thinking in my head like, oh, perfect. This is like my one chance to get rid of these things. And I'm like, I just tell her, I'll tell you what, if you take all of them, $20. Now, there were 13 of them. So it's $26, knock it down to 20. And she's still like, she's like, I just like, I can't, like she said, I can't read, but she meant I can't read Japanese, not I can't read, And I was like, oh, well, no, it's cool. Like, you don't even need to, like the only one, there was like one game where I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, it was like an action RPG or something. And like, you're not playing that if you don't speak Japanese, Yeah. And so I warned her, but I'm like, this is a shooter, Hanny in the Sky, like Dragon Spirit's a shooter. These are all like, platformers, and she's like, oh, okay. And even then she had to go get her boyfriend and bring the boyfriend back. Like this was like a major purchasing decision for them, but they finally took him. But I mean, I had like people trying to talk me down, or my wife was there with me and people were trying to like buy one, get one free on my already cheaply priced games.
Come on.
But, but whatever. I mean, I got rid of a lot of stuff, but like I came home with all the rest of my, like I had, the PCE Works boxed sets.
Yeah.
Like I have a couple of those and I just don't really want them anymore. I mean, I don't, I got my Super SD System 3 and I was like, eh. And so I took them and I mean, mind you, those are high dollar items. Like I said, I wanted 150 a piece for them.
I mean,
so I didn't.
Those, they sell for quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really expect them to sell, but so I came home with those. But like I took GameCube and Wii games, and those are like all gone. So again, it's just that's just sort of the demographic that was there. So
yeah.
So I can't really get mad. I'm not. I still had a fun time, I guess. But at least they had a food truck. That was cool. But anyway, so a couple of cool things. So I didn't really buy hardly anything, but. I bring it up only because originally I was going to stream the NES tonight, and we were going to play NES shooters. Because, I mean, how many, NES is not really known for shooters. Of course, there's Gradius and Life Force, but I've kind of played those to death, I think, on the show. But, there's other, there's like Star Soldier and et cetera, et cetera. And the reason I was going to do that is one of the things I picked up at the show, because I've been looking at one of these for a while, is I finally got an NES Advantage joystick. Oh, and okay. I've said this before, I think, on a live stream. I actually do have an NES Advantage joystick, but it's brand new in the box.
So you don't want to open that up.
Yeah, I didn't mean to buy a brand new in the box one. I bought an NES Advantage joystick for like $5 at a local store, and I brought it home and it didn't work. And from what I've read, like the ICs in these things can go bad, and then you really can't repair them. And so I was kind of bummed out because I was already all like jazzed to play with the stick. And so I went on eBay and I just bought a complete in the box one because I thought it would be cool. And that's all it said, was complete in the box. And then it showed up and it was quite obvious that it wasn't complete in the box. It was brand new in the box. And so I didn't really feel like, why would I open that? So I got that. So we'll still, I haven't, and here's the funniest part, just because, I know maybe I'm kind of a weird guy, but like I already took that whole thing apart. I cleaned it. Some of the plastic pieces on the inside that hold that bottom plate on were broken. So I went and bought some plastic specific super glue and got it all fixed. I took apart the joystick and I cleaned the rubber dome thingy, the little contacts.
Yeah.
I did all of that and I still haven't tested it. So for all I know, I did all that work and it's broken. So hopefully that's not the case.
So the advantage is that use the same kind of rubber contacts, like the silicone.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's like one, if you open it up, the bottom of the stick has one big spring going around the whole bottom. and then it has like sort of 4 feet on it, and each one of those is just hovering over one of those rubber. So it doesn't use
Right.
like micro switches, which is too bad.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm so curious is because the video I'm working on right now is on first party controllers, and the advantage is in it, but Try has that one. I don't have it, so he's the one that's like is talking about it.
Yeah.
But I talk about the Genesis arcade power stick. You know, the one that I shot some video of for
me.
your one video.
Yeah.
And like I opened it up, and it's just, you know, it's got the rubber contacts. But I guess the Japanese version of that same stick uses micro switches, which would make it amazing.
That's kind of, yeah, I wish we had that. Sorry, I got a text message from...
Yeah, I mean, I've had that thing for years, and I remember, like, it's such a stupid decision of mine to, like, get that instead of a game.
See, that's why I never got one, the NES Advantage, is it was $49.99 when it came out. And so if you got that, there was, like, the opportunity cost of not getting a game instead. So I always felt like if you went over to some kid's house and they had an NES Advantage, that kind of automatically gave them a little bit of, like, baller status. Because obviously they could be like, no, I don't want Contra. I want that arcade stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always hated that arcade stick because I got home and I immediately knew I made the wrong decision.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt. I got, you know, I don't know if you heard me tell this story. I'm not going to tell it again in detail, but I did the same thing of what you're saying, but it was an NES Max controller. Because the store didn't have any good games, you know, and so I came home with an NES Max, and instantly I was like, "This was a horrible decision."
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that was the first thing I got.
His NES for his birthday.
Who? What?
When my brother got the NES for his birthday.
Yeah.
The second controller that he got was an NES Max.
And how did you guys feel about it?
Oh, I mean, it is horrible.
Oh, okay.
I hated using it.
I mean, the Advantage is cool too because it has the adjustable turbo.
Right.
I like that.
And it's good. It's good because it has the light up on there. You can use it to test lag.
I didn't even
with
think
like a
about
high-speed camera.
I just didn't even think about that. You're operating on like a higher intellectual plane.
Well,
than
the Genesis stick has the same thing. It just lights up, and it probably is a little slow for what it's supposed to be doing. But
yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
The Creative Assassin saying the Max controller is my favorite. Oh, is my favorite 80s action hero. I thought you were saying the Max controller is my favorite controller. I was like, what?
Yeah.
There's one of you out there.
Yeah. So other things, I didn't pick up very much. That's why I'm just doing it now instead of doing it on like a non-live stream. But I thought this was kind of neat. I don't really understand it completely, but this was just waiting for me on the table when I got there. Like we all got one of these. See, and it says Old School Gamer Magazine, Sac Gamers Expo, Trading Card Awards Ceremony. I mean, have you ever seen one of these before, Corey? Maybe you have one. I don't know.
I haven't. I'm familiar with Old School Gamer Magazine.
Oh yeah, me too. I just
no convention.
Yeah. So then you see
the same people going.
It's got like this mock-up of a trading card with me on it, and then it actually has like this ribbon on it, and then it actually has Walter Day's autograph on it, and that's not a print, like that's actually Sharpie ink.
That's pretty awesome.
Now somebody might have forged Walter's signature, but I don't know that.
But probably not.
Probably not. So I thought that was pretty neat, and so I saw that, and I was like, oh well, that's pretty cool. But then a little while later, the guy that actually runs the show, also named Chris, comes by and he's like, "Oh, we were just waiting for you to get here to give you these," and he gives me this whole stack of trading cards of me,
like actual size, like trading cards.
Yeah, like there's me, and then there's whatever was on the back, and it's funny because I took them and kind of stashed them away, and like my wife was like, "Oh, aren't you going to give those away to people?" And like by that time, I'd already kind of realized what was going on where I was, and I was just like, "Hell no! I'm going to take these home and mail them out to my real fans." So
yeah.
So that being said, if anybody out there, if you want one, just send me an email.
Want one.
Well, you'll get one. Actually, I was going to send you a copy of the Sacramento News and Review too, because I haven't sent out your backpack yet.
Yeah.
But then it was also cool because I traded cards with like everybody that was in my like little island of table.
That's
So
cool. That's pretty fun.
so like this guy, this was the guy I couldn't remember his name. This guy Joseph Ferris. I don't know if that face rings a bell for anybody. He was like 7 feet tall, but he was very very nice guy. And then so here's that. This is that Loxton guy. He seemed like, I mean, there were people coming up to his booth all day talking about Pokemon. So I mean, the guy is obviously got it going on. Again, it's just different demographics. That's all.
I don't know barely anything about Pokemon.
Well, I felt bad because I mean that was like the major talking point at the panel discussion was Pokemon. What's your favorite Pokemon? What's your favorite new thing in Pokemon Sword and Shield? And I wanted so badly to just interrupt, just to elicit a response from the crowd, because as some of my viewers know, I have never played a Pokemon game in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm not bragging. I mean, people say it's a good game.
No,
I should check it out. I was just like 20 when Pokemon came out. So
Well, exactly. That's how it was for me. I mean, you're 42. I'm going to be 41 this month. Pokemon came out
yeah.
when I was just starting college.
Yeah.
And there was just no way. And I had no interest in it. I was still busy playing everything on the PS1.
Yeah.
And that's what I was spending all my time on. I wasn't going to play something like Pokemon, even though just a couple of years would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. And then the only games I picked up, and again, these really aren't anything exciting. So this one guy, I was looking out for just sort of maybe a little bit like off the wall stuff, like Japanese games, And so this guy had a few Japanese Sega Saturn games. And so it's Virtua Fighter 2, obviously, and I have the American version, but I'm kind of trying to switch my Saturn library over to Japanese games. And so he had this, it's complete for $5, and so I'll take that. But then he only had he had 2 copies of Virtua Fighter 2, and then he had this game Riglord Saga 2. And
I know the name. I can't tell you what it's like though.
Yeah, and those were the prices I paid. So it was $5 for Virtua Fighter 2, and then
did Rick Lord come with a something special in the box? Because I know some Saturn games, when they don't have a back on them, that means they came with something.
I mean, it could be. I have no idea. He was trying to get me to buy this, and I just didn't want it. I'm like, well, what kind of game is it? And he's like, oh, it's like an action RPG. I'm like, well, I don't speak Japanese. And he's like, well, maybe. And he's like taking the manual out and flicking through it. Like he really wanted. And I was just like, I'm good, man. And he's like, you know what? Just take it. And he gave it to me. I'm like, oh, I didn't want to be rude. I'll take it, but I don't, thank you.
I almost think it was a Dreamcast.
Yeah. So, I mean, he must have also known that nobody was going to buy it, I guess. But, and then the last one I got, this is funny. It was the same thing. So this guy had a box full of 3DO games. And all of it was in there. So I think actually that guy from Pixel Game Squad bought all the good 3DO games, because he kind of showed up really early in the day back at his booth with a bunch of 3DO games. And then when I went and found this one seller, he had like a Tupperware or whatever tub, but it was just pretty much sports games, like Madden and Lynx and et cetera. It's FIFA. But this was in there. And I never heard of this game. Probably, I'm sure Corey already knows all about it. Probably, Corey, you have a copy of this. Starblade for the 3DO.
Oh, I don't have a copy of it. But
what caught my attention is it's a Namco game. And unless I'm confusing my games, I believe this also came out on the Sega CD.
Yeah, it's a rail shooter.
Yeah, it's 3D polygonal rail shooter.
Yeah,
and I don't know. So I thought it was kind of neat. It was $15, which I think I probably overpaid for it. But
I don't know if you saw the video that I did on the games within games a few weeks back. So the arcade version of Starblade is the now loading game in Tekken 5.
Oh,
so like that arcade game is like what Galaxian was in the first Ridge Racer.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, I don't know if you're keeping an eye on the chat. Did you see that?
I see Richard Jesus saying, I'd like to publicly thank Corey for lending his issue of Electronic Game Player magazine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Richard, he's the one. He gave me issue number 1 of Game Pro.
Mhm.
He just sent me that issue of Handheld Gamer. That was his copy of Game Pro Celebrity Video Gamers that I had for like 2 years. He's one of the administrators of RetroMag,
I see. Okay.
so he's
Well, yeah, yeah.
he's
I mean, I
basically
have it
awesome.
sent me a little postcard and stuff when he returned the magazine back.
Oh, you got it back. Oh, that's quick.
Yep. Yep.
So he returns
It
magazines a
came
lot
in
faster
a
than I do.
protective bag that is a lot better than any other protective bag that I have for any of my other magazines.
Is it Mylar? Because I sent a magazine back to him in a Mylar bag, but then I think he reused that same bag to send me the
Then
Handheld
it might
Gamer.
be. I mean, it is
I think
like
I
nothing's
put it.
getting
I
through
mean, well,
it
Brian
unless
can
you.
say, but I think I'm the one that put your magazine in that Mylar because I got a bunch of Mylar gaming or magazine bags. But and then you already saw this, Corey. But I was pretty excited about this. The last thing I got at the convention, somebody was selling just a buttload of arcade marquees, and so I
Yeah.
got. This is Corey and my both, I think, favorite version
Yes.
of Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and this
100%.
this is it's plastic, so it's not a some of the early ones were glass. Like my Centipede marquee is
Yeah, but I'd rather have the plexiglass kind.
yeah, like I'm not worried about this falling on the floor and breaking.
Right.
And it's in pretty nice
Will that fit
condition.
in
It
your
was
machine back there?
what's that?
Will that fit in your machine back there?
No, no. So I don't have it, but like at the top right there of the machine on the back, there's these screw holes because they actually made like marquee holders
Oh,
for
I see. You
them.
can just slide
But
it in the
and
in
you
the
would put
thing.
like a flyer in there. And I was just
Mhm.
kind of thinking like, hey, maybe there'd be like a way that, you could fabricate like a little holder so that you could put a marquee, an American marquee over it. But I actually have these. I have my other two marquees hanging on the wall, but it's on the wall that's like facing the arcade machine there, so you can't see them from here.
What are the
But
other ones you have?
Golden Axe and Centipede. So I
Oh
think I'm
man,
actually probably going to take down Centipede and put this one up.
and put that there. I think that's worth it.
Yeah,
The Golden Axe is one I've always been on the lookout for.
yeah. And then it's kind of funny because there was a time when I would have wanted to take this off, but you can see right here, it has the sticker from, I guess, the original amusement company, Aloha
Mhm.
Amusement. And it's funny because,
Oh, that's
like
cool.
I said, there's a time when I would have gotten some Goo Gone and tried to get this off so I could make this all perfect. But
Mm,
now I look at that as being like, this is like part of the history of this marquee.
yes.
And so I think it's cooler to leave it
I
on
mean, there's
there.
certain things I will get off of. When I buy something used, if
Yeah.
it's like gross,
Oh, yeah. If there's like a
stuff
booger
like
on there,
that.
that's not part of
There's
its.
like a time and a place.
Yes. So that's
Oh
it.
yeah.
That's really all I have to waste people's time with before we just
How
get
much did
into
that
the.
marquee run you?
How much would you pay for that marquee?
Probably like $20.
All right, I paid 25,
Okay.
which I wouldn't have gone any higher, but I didn't buy anything else, So or aside from the other few things,
Yeah.
I spent like maybe $50 at the convention, so which I made that selling other games, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Made that on
Um,
those.
So before we switch the view and play the MiSTer,
Mhm.
I would like to run upstairs for a second. So
Sure.
do you think that you could entertain
I'll do my best.
your fans?
I will do my best. I could show them my only arcade marquee. I'll go and grab it really quick. It's just
All
right
right.
behind me.
All right, I'll be back in a second, everybody.
So I have one arcade marquee. Does anybody in the chat know what it is? Can I have some guesses? Well, thanks, Ethel Chip. It's not Tubin. Not Joust. Oh, I wish it was Shinobi. If it was Shinobi, that'd be amazing. I would love it if it was Space Harrier. I mean, Shinobi, Space Harrier, or Strider would be better than what I'm about to show you. I don't want to. I can get it to kind of slowly. I wish those Ghouls and Ghosts would be amazing too. Let's see if I can do this here. I'll try to slide it in here and see if we can get anybody to guess what it is before it's on screen. Anybody know yet? I wish it was Ran. Yeah, Subtle Wookie got it. There it is. There he is. There he is in the flesh. Or not really, a drawing of him.
Sorry, I'm back. Do you have a Karnov game or no?
I do. I do have an arcade board of Karnov. I streamed it like 6 months ago probably, and it was incredibly difficult.
Hold on, I'm trying to play with my microphone here for a second. I don't understand
All right.
why it's so hot.
Oh, I thought they were talking about me. Your sounds. I can't tell how yours sounds.
Well,
So I'm just hearing you.
You are hot.
Coming
Don't
through
let
the other.
anybody tell you different. Teresa, my wife's home, so she took care of the chickens. Teresa in the chat was asking about the chickens. I usually have to go lock the chicken coop, but my wife's home. That's why I went upstairs. My wife wasn't supposed to be home tonight, so that's why I was streaming. But then I heard her come home, so I feel a little bit weird, like ignoring that my wife came home. Like, sorry, honey, I didn't come upstairs and say hi. I'm hanging out with the guy.
How long have you been married for?
Like 20 years, or 19 years. But I just figured, I don't know.
Well, there you go. I mean,
I feel better having gone upstairs and just said hello to her. So, but now we are completely free to do stuff. So that's what I kind of started saying earlier. Is originally we were going to do NES shooters tonight, and then I don't know why. I don't know why all of a sudden last night maybe I must have seen something that Smoke Monster streamed about or something. All of a sudden I got this hair up my, to update my MiSTer because I really just wanted to check out like the Sega CD core and and the Game Boy Advance core, and I didn't do it for a while because for some reason in my head it seemed like it was going to be harder because Smoke is telling me like, oh no, wait, I'm uploading some stuff that you can download, and like people made it seem like it was going to be this whole thing, but I had to wait for him to, because he was going to the movies or something, and so I was just like, well, I'm just going to run the update script on the MiSTer and just like see what happens because I haven't updated that thing in like forever. So like I do the update script, and then when it's done, like the Sega CD core is there and the Game Boy Advance core is there, and I put some Game Boy Advance ROMs on there. And you what?
You needed the BIOS for it, right?
Well, yeah, I had to download a Sega CD BIOS and I had to put some images on there, but that was no big deal.
Well, Game Boy Advance, you need a BIOS file too.
I did not.
I think it includes one. It might include one, but maybe not. Like not a real one. But if you don't have it, let me know and I can probably get you one.
Okay. I mean, I've been playing Game Boy Advance games on it and it seems like
if you've been playing it, then you're fine.
But anyway, see, Show just said you don't need a BIOS file for the GPU.
Okay.
So that's good. But, so I was playing, first of all, it was just blowing my mind playing Sega CD games on the MiSTer. Because, I mentioned this in a previous stream, but, I sent off my Model 1 Sega CD to Mobius Strip Tech, and, I got it recapped. I think he adjusted the laser, he lubricated things, and then I got it back and I did the stream with it and everything was great. And I put my Sega CD on the shelf, and then a few months later I took it down to play a Sega CD game, and it's like making a funny noise because like something broke inside of it. Like you can still play a game, but like the disc is rubbing. Not because of anything that Mobius did, just because, something else just...
Because it's old.
Yeah, like it's like a piece that helps support the drive itself, I think. Yeah. And it's just old and it broke, and I asked him about it, and he said that currently nobody's making like a replacement part. It seems like something you could 3D print. But so I haven't been using it, and so then I was thinking like I'll just buy a Mega, the Mega SD. But now, I mean, I guess I don't know enough about the difference between having a Mega SD and just doing this. Like I just, playing Sega CD on here, like I said, I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. Playing it on my big screen.
It's amazing.
I had some scan lines going on, and
much like you, like I've gotten really really into the MiSTer these last few
Yeah.
weeks myself.
Well, part of it too is just like the thing is like, you know, if Classic Gaming Quarterly is like a job, then
Mhm.
like game consoles are like my tools. And
Right.
no
Yeah.
different than if I was like an electrician or something and I need to have like when I open my toolbox and I need like some diagonal cutters or I need a multimeter, I need it to just work and not create more
Right.
headaches for me. And sometimes that's what happens with my old video game systems. There's always like
Totally.
there's often a compromise with using an old system because this is wrong with it or that's wrong with it or like I
Yep.
just did all this recording all this NES footage and like my NES is the only system that doesn't get along with my OSSC and my capture card. So like then I have to
Mhm.
bring down my frame MiSTer, which I mean, thank God I have those things, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt. And so to be able to have the Sega CD on the MiSTer is awesome, but so that kind of in my mind it saves me the money of having to worry about my Sega CD drive in the short term until I have time to go in there and actually see what's wrong with it and fix it. But
Mhm.
it saves me from having to buy a Mega SD. And then as
Right.
far as the Game Boy Advance core goes, like I don't have a GameCube and I don't have a Game Boy Advance player, and it's never
Right.
come up on my show yet that I needed to capture Game Boy Advance footage. But now if it does, I have this. And so I loaded up some Game Boy Advance ROMs on here. And there's all these different video effects that you can add, like scan lines and whatnot.
Mhm.
And it has
Like the
LCD.
grid, the LCD grid
Yeah.
filter.
And so I added an LCD grid filter on there, and man, it looks just like you're playing on a Game Boy Advance SP screen. I was
Mhm.
having such a good time. So I'm going to try to show that stuff. Like I made a special
Yeah.
where I can switch, and the game will be full screen, so you won't see this overlay anymore. So if you guys are watching the stream on a large enough display that it doesn't get screwed up, you'll be able to see it. But we're not going to normally play it that way, just because scan lines are that great. Are that wouldn't look good for a lot of people, depending on what kind of device you're watching the stream on. So,
You got a $5 donation from D Forte
oh
Game
gosh,
Reviews.
thank you, Daryl.
Says
Sorry, I didn't see that.
said for the old video game fund.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thanks,
Thanks.
thanks very much. Corey
Uh,
said that since he's on the stream tonight, I have to give him half of all the super chats, which I already have to give half to YouTube, so I get $1.25 of your $5. Yep, we got a matching donation from Pete, so thanks, man. Hey,
Yeah,
Pork Chop
thanks.
Express is here.
All right.
I was looking
You
on
know,
I was looking on your
Pork
website today, there, Pork Chop.
my one of my favorite like receiving something in the mail memories
Yeah.
is very recently is getting something from him, and he's like, I got something here from MiSTer Add-ons. Do you know a MiSTer Add-ons? And I just thought, thinking of it like an actual name, like
Well, sure.
maybe his last name is actually Add-ons.
For anybody that doesn't get the joke, that his website is MiSTer Add-ons because he makes MiSTers and accessories. So that's pretty funny, though. Yeah, I was on his website because one thing I don't have for the MiSTer, it's something simple that I'd like to have is a power switch. Like you can get the inline power switch, and he is sold out of them because I would like to buy one. So the only way for me to turn on or turn off my MiSTer is just to unplug it or plug it in, which is not really that big of a deal, but I wouldn't mind having a switch. And then I don't know if you have one or not, Corey, but I'd like to get, I don't know why, but I thought it would be neat to have the SCART cable so I could hook it up to my PVM, even though I'd probably never use it. I just kind of wanted to check it out.
Mm-hmm. For the MiSTer.
Yeah.
No, I mean I use just use like the VGA out, and actually I go it's the VGA to like the 4BNC it goes into.
Yeah. Well, you can
my
get, I know
extra-
that Retro Access, at least for a while, was making a SCART
Right.
cable. Well, I got $5 more from D Forte. Thanks, man. Okay.
I did see there's a question from Richard Cheese saying,
Oh.
what are my top 3 favorite box arts of all time? I can tell you definitely what my number 1 is.
Well, you can't start off with number 1. You got to.
Well, I don't even know how to lead up to it. I mean, I can start. Like number 1 is the only one that I definitely know. I mean, I think that it's going to be a very unpopular choice.
Oh, wow. Mega Man
I'd say
1?
that the U.S. cover of Phantasy Star 2 is one of my favorites.
I don't know. I
which
like that.
is a lot of people really hate that image. But there's just something about it that is like so alien and weird that I love. And like my number one is definitely Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis.
Oh yeah.
Love that box art.
Hey, speaking of box art, I forgot this was also at the SAT Gamers Expo. I don't know if you talked to this guy because I know you. I forgot you talked to someone that did box art back in the day. I forgot this guy's name.
Oh, we talked to Tom Du Bois.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, this was a different guy. So there was this guy there who did the box art for like a ton of NES games, including Mega Man 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's the
I want to say his name was like
I don't
Erickson
know
or
his name,
something. I don't
but I'm pretty
remember.
sure he did the cover for Herzog's Y. Also,
I think he
did he
did
also?
actually. I think I saw that one there.
Yeah, Mark Erickson is I think his name is.
That's yeah. It was
That's
there.
what
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
Cheese
Richard
just
Cheese
said
is
so.
saying.
Yeah, he was there. He was selling prints. That was pretty cool.
Man, I would love to have like a Herzog's Y print because I remember looking at them on his site like years ago, but you could only buy it with like a frame and glass and everything like that. It was
Wait, you don't like
super
you don't
expensive.
frame your prints?
Well, I would, but I'm not
a
gonna
college student.
Well, I understand, but I wasn't gonna. I'll buy my own frame.
Oh, all right. I didn't know you were. You're.
I don't need to buy it.
You're a frame
Really
aficionado, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to jack up the price to buy this.
I
have like
I
a.
understand. The guy's got to make. The guy's got to make his money, you know. Oh, and then the guy
under $4 as well. I think.
Yeah, I saw that one too. The guy was there. I don't know. So I don't know how. Well, this annoyed me when I saw it, but obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. But like the voice actor who does the voice of Bowser was at this convention, and he was charging like $30 for autographs.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that kind of seems. I can't believe. But then like lots of people were paying him. So obviously, you know, I mean, you charge what the market will bear. I wasn't charging anything for autographs, but I only gave one person an autograph the whole day, so that shows you what my autographs were.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. It's like he doesn't even.
Well, I'm saying if the guy, yeah, he goes like,
and not only that, but there's like an effect. There's effects on his voice.
Yeah, like if I can't remember his name, the guy who does Mario. I even talked about him on the N64 episode, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, if he was there, that would be cool. But the Bowser guy, like, I don't know about that.
I mean, all three, like the person who does the voice of yeah, and Peach, like they all have been making the rounds these last couple of years, and they just, I mean,
I'm just saying if you're going to charge fans like $30 or $40, like they should be recording your like outgoing voicemail greeting.
Yeah, but I think that they probably have certain restrictions of what they can say. Nintendo probably won't let them say certain things.
That's what I should do. I should go to these cons and just be like, yeah, autographs are free, stickers are $1, or for $5, I will record your outgoing voicemail message for you. That's the key to financial independence.
Cameo service.
Well, hey, I'm in.
Have you heard of this thing, Cameo? Where you can.
I thought you just meant literally doing cameos.
No. Well, people pay you money to like record personal messages.
But doesn't that normally that person would be famous, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's like
That's
YouTube people on there.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do it. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's one guy that. Like I don't know, he's like some TV actor. Like someone paid him money to like break up with their boyfriend.
Wow. Like I'll give it a try. Speaking when you said the thing about cameos, I don't remember if I already told everybody or not, but I actually have a cameo, like no joke, in the next episode of The Gaming Historian. Like a voice cameo. You know, like he does sort of the
3 one.
What's that?
The Mario 3 one that he's working on?
Yeah. Nice. Like, you know, he does sort of the Ken Burns style thing where he has different people read quotes, you know, which I think is really cool. And, and he reached out and I got to do one, which I thought that was really neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward. I'm not going to tell people what it is because I'm going to make when it comes out, I'm going to say when the
Sorry,
video
my
comes
heater's
out, I'm
kicking on.
basically going to
That's
tell people
here.
that find the quote and tell me what it is, and I'll send you something. Anyway,
I did one for him like a couple of years ago, but I've never heard it because it was like on his Blu-ray is like an exclusive episode for his Blu-ray.
oh, sorry,
I've never seen
that would be
the episode. I don't really have a voice for that kind of thing, anyways.
Well, it's not.
Tried
I
it
mean,
one,
that's
but he
not
did
true.
this,
It's
like,
like
really-
it just different kinds of voices fit different roles.
Yeah.
like I did the voice of Bernie Stoller for
That's awesome.
for somebody else's video, because he had like a Bernie Stoller had kind of a deep voice,
Mhm.
So anyway, all right. So
Sorry, I just need to turn up my volume. My heater just kicked on here. It's
well, your voice was a little quiet anyway, so it's better if you turn it up.
yeah.
I just didn't want to
I
come.
don't know if that's too loud. I mean, I can't really do much about it. It'll only be on for.
I can just
make.
I'll make mine louder, and then we'll just both be loud.
Yeah.
And then they'll complain that we're clipping the mics or something, which I'd complain too.
So
what
can I make a recommendation?
you of course.
It's kind of interesting. Is that your actual background, or is that it looks
What?
like a transparency?
I agree
That
that
you-
it looks like a transparency thing, but that's just how it went. It was black, and then when I did the updater script, now it's this, and I don't know how to. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know how to change it.
Yeah.
But what was your
is-
recommendation you were going to say?
Well, hang on. Porkchop has expressed the same. Mics are clipping. Are both of our mics clipping?
Oh, I think he's
'Cause
just.
if
I
both
think
of them
he's
are
just
clipping, then-
joking.
Oh, is it? Okay. You always got the first game I played on my MiSTer with Sega CD game I played on my MiSTer was Road Avenger.
Oh, I don't have that one on here. I didn't put a complete set on here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, Skip. I just want to say real quick there in the chat there is Skipintosh. I got to meet Skipintosh at the Sack Gamers Expo. He's a cool guy. It's funny because his picture there is. I talked to Skipintosh a lot on Twitter, and his picture he looks very serious, and when I met him, he's like the exact opposite. So I was like, I want to meet this guy. I wonder what he's like, because he's just like, looks all business in his picture, but he's like one of those guys that has like a permanent smile on his face. So, so it was awesome meeting you, and I hope we get to hang out. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so since you brought up Road Avenger, I assume that means you want to do Sega CD first.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a preference. Like that's fine.
okay. Yeah, let's do a Sega CD game. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to turn off scan. I think I have scan lines on. And it seems like you have to load a BIOS when you open the core. I don't know if that's
No,
actually.
it should, as long as it's right in the
Although I like doing it because then.
directory called like something like boot.rom or something like
Oh,
that.
I didn't do that. I just have it in a folder. But I like doing this anyway because then when you load the BIOS,
Yeah.
then you get that. So that's probably too quiet.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing version 1.0.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like the-
I'm rolling old school.
I always do 1.10. That's what is on my system. I didn't even know that 1.0 was even available in the US.
I just found on archive.org there's a zip file with like every BIOS file from every region, and so I just grabbed all of them and just put a few on
Yeah.
here. Okay. Anyway, so
This is the iconic one, though. I think I
that's
love.
why I got it, 'cause that's what's on my.
I love the drums in this.
Yeah.
I used to when I played drums for a little while when I was in high school.
Did you?
I used to think it was really fun to play the drums to this song. I still do it.
Oh, hey.
I mean, I don't play drums now, but
Did you I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I can hear my voice through your microphone. I don't know if you care, but I don't know if Smoke Monster's still here or not, but he was telling me yesterday that he had breakfast with Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins.
wait, who did?
Smoke Monster.
Nuh-uh.
He had the pictures to prove it. IHOP.
Isn't that the name of a Mighty Mighty Bosstones song?
I don't know. I'll let him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him.
No, I
tell the
want to hear
story.
about it because Billy
you should
Corgan
go
was
talk
actually
to him.
just here a couple weeks ago.
This was like back in like 1995 or something, or maybe
okay.
not, but it was back in like
Really quick, I just want, so Richard Cheese says that he has a Mark Erickson print of Herzog's Y box art. I'd be willing to send it to us. Thank you. That is incredible. I mean, I would frame it and hang it.
Would you promise every time anybody came and visited your professional space there that you would point it out to visitors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For those that don't know, I'm going to be moving in a couple of weeks here, and I'm excited for more wall space to hang these different posters.
I don't have any wall space. I need some. Oh yeah, sorry. So I'll show you what games I have, but like before the stream even started, Derek requested Soul Feast, so we got to play a little bit of that real quick. So these are just the games. So I just went on Archive and I just pulled down some games and stuck them on here. So it's not. Some of them are games that I like, and some of them are games that I was just curious to check out. So we got Android Assault. We can't check out Colors of Modern Rock, or I'll get a copyright strike, and that's not a game anyway.
Same thing with Road Rash, I guess, since it plays the...
All right, no Road Rash, everybody. Darn it. You know how much I love Road Rash. Almost as much as I love Mortal Kombat. Dark Wizard, Dungeon Explorer, which is not, I don't think, as good as the Turbo CD, or Turbo Graphics, rather, version of Dungeon Explorer. Final Fight, Jaguar XJ220, or Jaguar if you're British. I just picked up a Jaguar XJ220 Hot Wheel, so now I have the game to go with it. KO Flying Squadron, Lords of Thunder. I put Mortal Kombat on here just as I'm trying to work on a Mortal Kombat video, and I needed some footage of Mortal Kombat on the Sega CD. NHL 94, Popful Mail, this European Signosis Christmas sampler, because I just thought that was interesting. It's like a demo disc. Road Rash, Robo Alest, Sensible Soccer, which was a European-only release, which I definitely want to check that one out. Snatcher, Soul Feast, that's the U.S. version of Sonic CD, and the Japanese Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Soul Star, and the Terminator. And that's all I got on.
You got a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. And so I'm going to hit up Soul Feast first. So
yeah, Soul Feast is really good, I think.
So when you select a game, it automatically like resets the system for you and everything. So like now the virtual Sega CD thinks that you just put a CD in there, and so you can hit start, or if you don't hit start, it just starts the game for you. So
or if you hit C, you can go into the dashboard and probably listen to the music in the CD player. I bet
that would be cool. We got to watch the Wolf Team intro real quick.
Game creative staff, Wolf Team.
Wolf Team.
You got a $5 donation from Derek Felska saying,
thanks,
"Yay,
Derek.
Soulfie is loving the Sega CD. Jaguar XJ220 was awesome on the Neo Geo kiosks back in the day." For your old video game fund.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it.
In the distant future.
Derek also sent in a package for the Christmas special, which. So I mentioned this on Twitter, but then I guess maybe for some people they didn't understand what I was saying. But I'm going to be giving away my Sega Genesis Mini and the Tower of Power. I put them back in the box, and I'm going to be doing like a pretty awesome giveaway. Not during the Christmas stream, but during the Christmas special. And
is it Christmas Day that you're doing the Christmas stream?
No,
or the
no. I think I'm going to do the stream on like the 23rd or something.
Okay.
Someone tell me if the audio sounds good. Like in my ears, it sounds too loud, but I feel like in my ears it always sounds too loud. But so anyway, I'll go into the details of the giveaway on the Christmas special, but it's going to be skill based, not just a random drawing. So it's going to be a test of both. Oh man, a test of both your Sega Genesis knowledge and your knowledge of Christmas movies. So. It's the kind of thing where I don't really expect anybody to get all the answers correct, but that's kind of the point, is like who does the best. And then if we have multiple people with the top score, then I'll have to pick randomly from among them. But I think it'll be pretty cool. I am also going to have stuff to give away on the Christmas stream, but that won't be stuff that's such a big deal as the Mini and the Tower of Power.
Wait, you're giving away the Mini?
Yeah, I'm giving away my Genesis Mini and the Tower of Power. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think that you'll buy one for yourself?
What's that?
Do you plan on buying? Are you gonna buy one for yourself? You think?
What, a Genesis Mini?
Yeah.
No.
Just to have it. I
Yeah.
actually imported the Asian Mega Drive Mini.
Does it have the same games on it or different games?
No, it's got like a lot of different games.
It's kind of neat, but
The main reason I wanted it is because it has Alien Soldier on it.
yeah. You know what I have Alien Soldier on? My Mega SG. So
Well,
no, I mean I'm not giving you crap. I think those things are cool. I got too much stuff anyway, and I don't know.
No, I get it. The main reason I do it that is because like I can if I paid money for it, then I can feel like okay, so like I own
Sure.
Alien Soldier at least in some form,
Sure.
like legitly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that versus a repro. I'd rather have
man.
that and play it on a flash cart than have it like a repro of it.
There was this guy at this expo I just went to who was selling reproduction CD-based games. Like,
Were they silverback CDs?
I don't know, but they weren't pressed.
Oh.
I mean, they were burned CDs, and he was charging like $60 because he's like, well, you know, he reprints the manuals but I don't think that they weren't even in like the proper cases. They were in like DVD cases or something. And you know, he's trying to show them to me, and like I'm supposed to think they're cool. I didn't say anything because I don't want to be a jerk, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like you're basically selling bootlegs
Yeah. Just
for a lot of
put
money.
it right out there.
You know, I mean,
It makes me think about. I just don't even understand that. So there's this guy I went to high school with. He opened a video game store like outside of Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen him since high school. And then I was in Buffalo for a friend's wedding, and I wanted to stop into his store and see what it was like. This was probably 4 years ago or something like that. It was the channel was only about a year and a half old or something at that point. And I went in there and I was just looking at what he has, and I was like, oh, you know, I saw a copy of Mega Man 7, and it was like $140. Like, oh, you got a Mega Man 7?
yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, don't get too excited. It's a repro.
But he still wanted $100.
Like $170 or something like that.
Like,
It was
I mean,
like a stupid price on it.
To be
Or
fair,
like 150.
how am I supposed to get through there? I mean, to be fair, I don't really understand what goes into making like a reproduction Super Nintendo game, but you can't charge $100 for a bootleg game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can fly through the ARM portion of it. You only
Oh, I
of
didn't know
those
that.
ARMs.
Well, I think that was enough for that anyway. So, all right. So I'm going to load up another game. So now if you want to load up another game, you just hit whatever button you've assigned. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
in case anybody's
Word.
curious what controller I'm using,
I was gonna-
so this is kind of sacrilegious because I only have the one controller that I want to use for everything just because it's easier. But I got this SN30 Pro from
Oh yeah,
8-Bit
it's a good
Dome.
one.
It's cool because it's got sticks for maybe I don't know if maybe there's like some arcade games that you might because I can also use this with my computer. And
Oh, you
it's
got the wired one.
Yeah, I don't like messing around with this Bluetooth stuff. And apparently it has force feedback motors in it, which I didn't know that. But then it started vibrating one day when I hit like some button combinations. That kind of freaked me out. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like the original Game Boy color scheme. But it's a pretty nice controller.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I have R2. It has two shoulder buttons on each side, like a PlayStation controller. So if I hit R2, it brings this menu back up, and then you can just throw in another game. So one thing I said I wanted to check out was real quick. I wanted to play some sensible soccer because plus that way you guys can see that you can play games from other regions. So if I go here, I can load BIOS and throw a European Mega CD BIOS on.
You're gonna have to get the RAM upgrade here pretty soon, and so you
Yeah.
can play some Neo Geo on there too.
Sorry, it hung up a little bit. I've had problems with this core hanging up, although it's not a big deal because you just have to reboot. But I don't know if that's because I'm doing something wrong.
Try a
or
different
what.
BIOS. I mean, 1.0, I haven't really seen that. I would try like if you have like a 1.10.
Why don't,
which is-
I'd have to get it off my computer, so I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
But I should try that. You're right. Yeah, so I don't actually know much about. Oh yeah, so here's what if you have a. This is still version 1.0, but this is in Europe, so that's what the screen looks like.
Oh, I
there.
see.
So it's kind of neat. So I'm not sure what goes into doing the RAM upgrade on. Like, do you have to like solder stuff, or is there like a slot for it?
It comes right out and it plugs right in.
Oh, you put it where your current RAM is. You're saying?
Yep, it just replaces it.
Yeah, I should do that because I'd like to put the Neo Geo core on here.
Yeah, the Neo Geo runs really well too.
John Gabriel is saying, "What's up from Lake Elsinore, California? What's up, man?"
Is that close to you?
I'm ashamed to say that I don't know where that is. So, no offense, John Gabriel. And I feel like there's like some buzzing, and I think I'm using an HDMI audio extractor, and I think that's where the buzzing is coming from because I've never had a problem with buzzing audio coming out of the MiSTer. Yeah, it's buzzing badly.
Oh, is this the Sensible Soccer?
Yeah, I was just loading it up. I'm just telling you can play Japanese games, you can play European games. I just really like Sensible Soccer. Like it, you read about it, all the time in like Retro Gamer magazine and stuff like that. It was like one of the most popular games in Europe, but I had never played it. And so when Todd sent me that Amiga 500, that was like one of the first games I played. Was Sensible Soccer, and it really is a lot of fun. Like, you don't even really have to be a soccer fan, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Well, it's like, usually it only like if you play it on the Amiga, you just have to use one button, and somehow it's like the game intuitively knows if
it plays itself.
If you want to pass or you're trying to shoot, it just kind of somehow it like knows, and it's pretty cool. But actually, this version seems to use two buttons. So I'm going to be the Germans, and we'll play against them.
I talk about it in the new video, and I talk about the Genesis control pad. So when you play Genesis games, how did you configure your buttons? I was always C is jump, B is attack, and A is, whatever, like use magic or whatever.
Yeah.
And like he came into the Genesis game very late, and he's all about B being jump, A being attack, and C being like your extra.
Yeah. No, I would want B to be attack because the way I hold the controller, I would have my thumb laying over B and C.
Right.
And that way I can use my thumb tip to shoot, and then if I want to jump, I just kind of roll sort of the meatier part of my thumb over there and jump.
Right. I mean, he does the same thing, but it's just like he's holding it further in.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
the
that's
tip
fine.
of his.
That's not how I do it. Plus, I mean, the B button on a Genesis controller says trigger. So it's telling you.
Well, they all say triggers. Doesn't it say just triggers, or does it say B trigger?
No, it says trigger real small, like over the B. Oh, damn it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. Just in making this video, I just think it's really funny that Sega calls the D-pad, they call it the D button because they have to differentiate.
Yeah.
From Nintendo's naming scheme, I guess.
Yeah, they'd probably get sued for that. Anyway, so I don't want to play this game for too long just because, I mean, it doesn't... I'm pressing the wrong button here or something. It doesn't really offer much over just playing it on the Amiga. This is a game where I really don't understand why it's a CD game. Although, didn't this game come out on a cartridge in Europe? I thought it did. But yeah, anyway, I can't imagine this being that much fun to watch. Plus, I played this game on my Amiga stream, so... I mean, is that CD quality crowd noises, maybe? That sounded pretty cool.
I don't know. Maybe it was just easy for them to make it.
Maybe. I mean, it'd be cool if I
Maybe
could
it's
score a
on
goal
goal.
real fast just so you guys could hear it. But
For mine, I'm using the 8BitDo M30. That's the Genesis pad. But they recently released one for the Genesis Mini that's a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle.
is it a different? If it's a different controller, or is it because I have?
It's the same thing as the controller that you have, the same M30, but it has a different dongle. It's a USB dongle versus a.
I don't think mine came with a dongle.
What is the?
Did
What
it?
is the
Oh yeah,
Genesis
it did
one?
because I use it. Yeah,
D9.
sorry, it came with the Genesis dongle. But you're saying I
Right.
can't just buy a new dongle?
No,
I don't
no,
really like the word dongle that much.
I don't either. But I it's funny to say sometimes.
All right. Anyway, that's enough of this. Nobody wants to watch this. So, yeah, I'm just going to reboot just so it doesn't crash again. All right. So, so of the games that I have, was there something specific that you thought I should?
Let me see the list again. Let me just take
All
a
right,
look.
hold on. Let me get the.
I'm at-
Got to get the awesome going on here. There we go. All right. Sorry, we got the stream lag, so Corey has to wait for.
You should play. I mean, I'll say Final Fight CD
Yeah.
all day long. I mean, I love Final Fight CD.
All right, I'm down.
Definitely
it's
in
got
my
really
top
good
5
music.
games ever since. Oh, the music is amazing.
See, people.
And it goes really well with anything, like just about anything.
I know. I remember that some of the reviews back in the day complained that this didn't need to be on a CD, since it came out on the Super Nintendo on a cartridge. But in my opinion, this is a game where it would have been worth it alone.
Yeah.
Just for the upgraded soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
In fact, we can watch the intro because
it might
it's
be my
a little
favorite
bit
version
better.
of the game. I think I might like it more in the arcade version.
What?
Which
Come
is
on.
everyone's like, oh my god, but the voice acting is hilarious. He's like, Mike Hager here when he answers the phone.
Yeah.
Mike Hager.
Here, I'll turn it up even.
At the center of the problem is the huge gang known as Mad Gear. Mad Gear controls all of the major criminal activity in the city. When they learned of Hager's plans, they took immediate action to bring this new mayor under their control.
I mean, this is new.
Sometime in 1990,
Some new graphics on the intro, isn't it?
A lot, yeah.
Hello, Mike Hager here.
Because it has the whole narration, I guess. And it's just,
Mr. Hager.
it's just text
So
in the arcade
pleased to
version.
make your
I recently got an arcade
I
board of
believe
this,
you
which
know
I guess
who
is
am.
really
Don't
expensive
hang
now.
Is it?
We have a little business
I mean, that's what I heard.
proposition for you.
Uh,
Your daughter.
How much did you
I don't know. I bought it off of somebody for $150, but then someone was saying
That's
it's like,
about-
oh, it's like $700 now or something.
That's about what I paid for mine. I think was
What
about
happened to
150
Jessica?
bucks.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Not so
I mean, that was funny. I
bad,
don't know if you
Mike.
got to hear the
Turn
hello,
on your TV.
Mike Hager here. And the other guy's like, has a much better voice. But yeah,
You
it was
son
all
of a-
text in the
what
arcade
have you
except
done
for
to
the
her?
bad guy.
Nothing yet.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
he wasn't even really
Enjoy
talking.
the opportunity. Listen to reason.
He's just like laughing. He's like, oh,
Why
oh.
make your
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
It's funny that it's the boss of the first
like the
level
mayor before
too.
you?
Yeah.
He's calling him.
All right. Anyway, have you ever played around with time attack mode?
Mm-mm.
What's in the? I'm always curious what's in the options. Nothing I want to change. I'm gonna check it out. I'm curious what time attack mode is. It's like a caravan mode for.
You got a $9.99 donation from Craig Hendricks
Wow,
with
thank
no
you.
message.
Thank you, Craig Hendricks. You're supposed to be able to ask a question when you make that. Although I answer people's questions either way, so it was funny. Smoke Monster played this on his stream the other day, and he picked Guy, and then everybody in the chat was like going crazy because you're supposed to pick Hager, but the
No
point
way.
of picking.
Guy is always my favorite.
Well, that's what I say, but I was talking to some guy on the forums like a few years ago who's like a Final Fight expert, and he was basically just saying that if you're trying to beat the game, like Hager's the easiest guy to start out with, and that he thinks that Guy is the hardest. But I just think Guy's the most satisfying to play with.
Oh yeah. Or as I like to call him, Gee. Gee.
Yeah, my friend. I've talked about my friend Stuart on Flashback. And his middle name I think is Stuart. I think his first name is Guy.
Yeah, it's spelled G-U-I. So. The first convention that Tri and I ever went to is this convention up in Canada.
Really?
And we went to it, and our point persons who was like picking us from the airport was named Guy, and we didn't really know what he looked like. So,
But did you know that it was Guy, or did you just like when you first saw him, were you like, "Hey, guy," and then he had to correct you?
No. We were told what his name was, but we didn't know what he looked like or anything like that. And I I sent a picture on my phone to try. It's like, oh, here, this is. I guess this is what he looks like. And I just sent him like a shot of Guy from this. I thought it was funny. I don't know if anybody else would think it's that funny. So what was that auto fire that popped up at the top there?
Where? I don't know. That's I don't.
It said auto fire 100%.
Yeah, like if you accidentally hit L2, is it L2?
It's got all these extra functions in there.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know. I don't know how to make it come back, but yeah, it's basically because I accidentally pressed a button. This time attack is really not the most fun thing ever.
Yeah, it's just endless. It's like an endless mode.
We go down here, maybe. Oh, I don't want to eject the CD though. All right, now you have to put the CD back in. That's no big deal.
Hold A button and press the menu key. It activates the MiSTer auto fire for that key.
Oh, well, I don't want to activate.
Pork Chop Express is out of
Metro
here.
A well-known
Thanks for stopping it.
But he's not soldering
violence and death.
memory expansions into MiSTers because you don't have to solder that.
Nope.
Fact
I didn't
which
know
the
that.
newly
Now
You swap it out.
Oh, somebody was mentioning that there are some games that you can.
Sell some. You should buy one from him.
Oh, I agree. I'm not. I think he might have been. He's like sold out of everything right now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would definitely buy one from. You know, I want my MiSTer maxed out, man. I'm very curious to see how the Neo Geo runs on it. I mean, I've seen YouTube, and it seems like it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used
I'm gonna be
much.
geek because I don't care what people say.
You gotta be Guy. That's my favorite version of Final Fight is Final Fight Guy on the
Yeah.
Super NES. Yeah, the Neo Geo core is pretty much perfect. The person who made it is like knows the hardware, like knows more about the hardware probably than the people that made it.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
So there's still no Atari Lynx core, right?
No, I mean, hopefully that happens soon.
Like, and what about Neo Geo Pocket? Is there that yet?
There isn't.
And I know now we're kind of getting into sort of semi-obscure
No,
stuff,
but I agree with you. That's the kind of stuff that I really want is stuff like that doesn't have a typical TV out.
Yeah,
You know, it'd be cool if there was like a Wonder Swan core.
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. I saw somebody. Oh, I gotta pause it real quick so I had this thought today, and I should have mentioned something earlier, but I guess now more people are here. So I was thinking I'd like to start like a mailing, like an email list for viewers of the show. And the reason I thought of that is that someone that I talked to at this convention was asking if there was like a better way to get notified when there was going to be a live stream. Because I understand, lots of people don't have Twitter, and I can guarantee you, if I didn't have this show, I wouldn't have Twitter either, because I used to think Twitter was stupid until I, decided I needed it. Although I have fun on Twitter, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying I understand people who don't want Twitter. And, some people, YouTube is not always the best about making sure people get their notifications and whatnot. and really and you can put posts on like the community page of your channel. You can put posts on Patreon, but it's like all these things where it's these services that are like deciding what to show people. And Facebook, same thing. And I don't know why it never really occurred to me, but I thought the easiest thing to do, really, because I mean, who doesn't have email, is just start an email list. So I'll put it up on Twitter and everywhere else as well, but I'll just say it here. Obviously I have a lot of your emails already because you've emailed me, but I'm not going to just put you on a list because that's kind of a, douchey thing to do. So anybody out there, if you would like to be on an email list so that you got like an email notification when, say, there was going to be a live stream, or if I was going to, maybe if I'm in some town, like, hey, I'm going to do a get together, you can send an email to me at cgquarterly@gmail.com, and I will add you to the list. Otherwise, I'm not going to. But it's certainly not. It's not going to be like Classic Gaming Quarterly Daily Digest or something. I'm not going to start spamming people. It's just the kind of stuff where if it's something where I'm trying to notify people as much as possible, this way it could just be via email instead. So anybody wants to be added to the email list, email me, and I'll start putting the list together. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah. You're lucky, by the way, that backpack like barely fit in a flat rate box with your magazines, and I think I got a book in there too. I had so much stuff I was going to send you just to be like a jerk, like a bunch of like third-party controllers that I don't want, and I was just like,
you should have put. I'm always up for control. I'm sending you a couple of extra.
That's kind of what I figured. Is like, well, maybe because you did that third-party controllers video, and it did pretty well for you, and I just figured, well, I had some other controllers, but.
Heck yeah.
Well, maybe I'll put together another care package for you, like, but I'll just wait until you move,
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to do another entry in that series, but this first party controllers is going to happen first. It's going to be 2 episodes. But, I'm sending you a couple of extra things.
Well, don't spoil it, man.
Yeah, but you're gonna don't get excited.
Oh, I'm not.
For sure.
Is the package going to get here in time for the Christmas special, you think, or?
I'll send it out tomorrow.
That's the key to.
It's gonna be 2-day priority, so probably.
I got a lot of really cool packages for the Christmas special this year. So I almost feel bad because I don't, it's going to make it seem like I'm just trying to get people to send me stuff, which I'm not.
Oh wait, people are sending you stuff to.
Well, I just mentioned a while back, because normally people send me packages or people send me postcards, and like within a reasonable amount of time, I show it on the show. And so I mentioned a while back that, I think back in October I mentioned that any more packages that I get, I'm going to set them aside, and it's going to wait until the Christmas special, because I feel like I don't really have a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, you should like open them up in the Christmas during the Christmas special.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to do.
That's amazing. That's awesome, and that's cool. I mean, it's cool that people send you stuff. I think a big reason for that is because of your stuff on CGQ Plus. Is because.
For sure.
People like see that side that like they get to know you more.
Yeah, I agree, and it makes me feel bad I haven't done a flashback episode in a while. But I talked about that last time on the live stream. I felt I felt a little bit more reticent lately about getting so personal on the show, but
because you said that the next one, the subject is really personal.
Well, not like I got molested by a priest kind of personal, but
but still, like,
I don't want to make it sound like more than it is.
Yeah, but you said that you wanted to wait until you're ready to put it out there.
Yeah. Someone's asking a question there. It's for either one of us if you want. It's about box art, so it's right up your alley.
Retro Gaming Systems Collectioner. That's a familiar name. It's always in our Sunday stream.
Oh, cool.
My question is, who did the box art cover for the Genesis Mega Drive for Thunder Force 1, 2, 3, and 4? I'm
Force
sure
1
it's
didn't
all
come out
different.
on-
Yeah, then it was an MSX that it was on.
Yeah. I
The
guess so.
first one. But we were just talking about the guy who did it for 2. I don't know who did 3 or did. I mean, the U.S. box art for 4 or Lightning Force it's not a good box art. The Japanese box art for Thunder Force 4 is amazing. I love the Thunder Force 3 box art as well. Yes, we got, and there's Craig Wan is in the chat. Another name that's familiar.
You're bringing your peeps.
Yeah.
I really hate
Says,
these Blu-ray guys.
Yes, this stage, like when it has the build up and then like the chorus part, whatever it would be considered, is amazing. I think I've used, we're getting to the point now in videos that it's getting tough to not reuse music that we haven't used before.
Oh, because you guys use all the background music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just getting to the point now where it's.
But I mean, do you think people are going to notice, like, hey, you used this?
No.
Okay.
It's just like us trying to challenge ourselves
Oh, I see.
in that way. And a lot of times, like at least with the stuff that I've done recently, a lot of times if I show some gameplay with just where you can hear the game audio,
Yeah.
is I will find that specific song that was playing during that gameplay,
Yeah.
and I will just take that song, a standalone version of that song, and just
Oh, yeah.
try to line them up where they're at
Yeah.
in the song. Like I try to line them up
No, I know what you're saying.
so that it can
That's
just
awesome. That's very good
go on any
attention
of
to
the
detail.
I mean, it takes a while to do it, but it just
But that's why your show's so freaking.
makes choosing music a lot easier at times.
Hey, did you happen to watch the last magazine read through?
The Nintendo Power one, I have not watched it. I think I watched. You know what? I did. I did.
I was
watch
just
it.
I was just curious
The
what your thoughts
Castlevania
on
2.
on the overlay.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you like the overlay?
Yes. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna not use I used scan lines. I thought, oh, I'll use light scan lines. It won't be too bad. But
The
gonna
scans
not
I
use
just
it.
never translate well to.
yeah,
Unless you have it full screen. The only way it looks good is if you have it full screen and it's the only thing on screen,
Yeah.
and people are watching it on their devices full screen.
yeah. So yeah,
It's
I'm
the only way.
not gonna do that part anymore. But overall, I think the overlay is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm actually pretty. There's a couple more games I want to play real quick, but I'm actually pretty much ready to record the next magazine read through, which is going to be
Metro City, a well
EGM number
crime
1.
capital, has
Oh,
been
yeah.
ruled by violence and
pretty
death.
excited about that.
And not the number 0.
No, although I have that one
A
too.
fact which the
So I think I'm
newly
going to
elected
mention
mayor
that. Well,
and
I'm going to do
former
EGM number 1, but I'm going to
Mike
just
Hager
sort of,
plans
you
to
know,
change.
just so I don't get people going, oh, it's not, you know,
At the center of the
I can
problem
explain. I mean, the
is the huge
EGM,
gang
if
known
you
as
count
Mad
back
Gear.
their numbering,
Mad Gear
number 1 is
controls
number
all
1,
of the
and the
criminal
that buyer's
activity
guide is
in the
not
city.
number 1. But I think
Right,
it bears
right.
mentioning in
When
the
they
show,
learned
like
Hager's
this
plans,
other
they
thing
took
was on the
immediate
newsstands a
action to
few
bring
months
this new
before,
mayor
Right.
you know, EGM number 1. So do we want to check out one more Sega CD game before we move on to?
Yeah. How about?
Hello, Mike Hager here.
Hello, Mike Hager here. See, I could do that. Why do I have to go to have a day job? I can do that.
I believe you.
Hello, we
Well,
have
in
your daughter.
1993 or whenever this came out,
Yeah.
you might have been able to. You should play
Your daughter.
Play Robo Aleste.
Cooperation.
Alesti,
And
Robo
we'll
Alesti,
throw in the
or however you want to say it.
monthly
Yeah, I don't know how to
bonus
say
for
it.
salary we offered before.
Yeah, people.
What?
Sorry, Dave.
I mean,
played
it's the
Guns
same thing
Asking
as
for
I mean, you
NHL
played.
94.
I mean, are you familiar with it? It's the same thing as
What?
Musha or
Yeah, I know.
what is it, Spriggan Mark II on the.
Yeah,
I'm not
the hugest fan of this game, but I'm gonna do it for you.
I love the first level music in this game.
Well, that alone makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Then.
But yeah, I mean, those early issues of EGM, there's not a lot of screenshots in them. It's tougher to do a read through, I guess, with some of those early ones.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as the magazine that you sent me that I didn't do. That one really
yeah,
was
but I mean, that
pretty
was at a time
bereft.
where
was divided into
they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know how they're photographs of these
where
games.
each
Yeah.
warlord was
But
desperate.
I mean, this one shouldn't be
to expand
too
his
bad.
reign.
No, Dave, you're not being a troll.
The
Don't worry. I
roaring
just
sound of war
feel we've
could
played
be heard everywhere.
NHL '94 multiple times on the stream, so I already played a
You know,
soccer
the,
game. So I'm just gonna start pissing people off pretty soon.
You know how EGM was like owned or partly owned, or part of the national U.S. video game team.
Yes.
So I've heard that the U.S. national video game team is like trying to make a big comeback, and I had on our side channel on the video game B-roll,
Yeah.
I had one of their tips and tricks videos that they released back in the day.
Really?
I had that posted on there,
Yeah.
and like they like came after, and like I got a copyright strike
Wow.
for having that recently.
That's not something I would have expected.
Yeah, I mean I'm not sure exactly how, like what they're planning in terms of like their comeback, but I mean it's like I had to go to, like YouTube called it like copyright school.
Really?
Like they make you watch like this 5-minute long video, and then you got to answer 5 questions about it.
Just because you got one copyright strike?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of a pseudo sequel to Musha. It's the same developer as Compile. I mean, in
As Bithead says,
Japan,
Compile.
Musha's called Musha Lusty, or yeah.
Even
But is Spriggan Mark II? Is that like part of this
I don't know.
series? I mean, that's another Compile game.
That got loud all of a sudden. All right, that's enough of that. All right, let's move on to
The GBA.
yes, thank you. And same thing.
you
I don't
should
have
play-
a complete. I don't have a complete ROM set on here. I just threw some stuff on here. So.
Do you have Gunstar Superheroes?
No. Because I knew you'd ask for it, and I was like, "F that guy. This is my
Well,
live stream."
let me see what you got.
All right. I don't know. I don't know if Norm. I guess Norm Matt is the guy that. Man, that's so buzzy. Okay.
Do you have Metroid Zero Mission?
Yes.
That's a good one.
All the Metroids. So, all right. Advance Wars 2, Altered Beast, Guardian of the Realms, the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which I was actually shocked that how good that is. Baseball Advance, which is one of my all-time favorite Game Boy Advance. I still have a season going on my actual cartridge of Baseball Advance. Blackthorn, Capcom Classics Mini Mix, all 3 Castlevanias, Contra Advance, both of the F-Zeros that got released in the U.S., plus F-Zero Climax from Japan, all the Final Fantasies, both Golden Suns, Gradius Galaxies, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good.
Konami Collector's Series, Arcade Advance, that one's all right. Mario Golf, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the Metroids, Ninja 5-0, Phantasy Star Collection, Polarium Advance, R-Type 3, which is also really awesome. Revenge of Shinobi, which is not nearly as cool as you might expect it to be.
Nope.
There's a few games I threw on here because I was just curious. I wanted to check them out. River
Yeah.
City Ransom EX, Sega Arcade Gallery, Spy Hunter, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, all the Super Mario Advance games, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, and Sword of Mana. And while you're kind of having that percolate in your brain, we got a $10 donation from Craig Wan, who says that well, he says, I guess he's talking to me. I don't know, that I'm one of his favorite YouTube retro gamers next to you guys in GameSack. So that's very good company for me to be in. So thank you. Keep up the good work. Wouldn't it be cool to have a hack for Final Fight CD with new voices? See, if I knew how to do that, we could redo the intro for Final Fight CD, you know, and be like, Mike Hager here, you know, we'll do it up properly. Okay, anyway.
River City
thank you
Ransom
again.
Jack. I'm saying. You should
Okay.
play River City
Okay.
Ransom. So you just start with it.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to load the game, and then I'm going to switch the view over so you guys can see that LCD screen effect, because then I can switch it back and we'll turn it off, because like I said, it's going to look like butt for some people.
If you're exploring GBA games sometime, if you're looking for things to download, I highly recommend Double Dragon Advance.
Yeah.
It's a remake of the original game, but it's so good.
Double Dragon Advance.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. You can change the brightness. You want to change the brightness?
Yeah. There should be a bunch of them. You got a $20 donation from
Holy
Tim Jenkins.
crap. Wow, thanks, Tim Jenkins. He didn't even ask a question. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. What are we doing? I don't want to adjust anything. Damn it. There we go.
And you can choose from different filters that have various levels of brightness,
Why does it keep asking me
like
that?
in the MiSTer.
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry. I'm just stupid. How's the audio sound to you over there?
I can't hear it at all.
Oh,
It's all right though. I don't.
all right. What? So anyway, so there you can see the LCD effect. So it just makes it look more, you know, like you're playing on a GBA SP. But again, if you're not watching this, you know, at full resolution, it's not really going to look all that great. So I don't want to keep it up. But just take my word for it. If you're playing like a MiSTer on a nice big flat screen TV, and you turn on this LCD effect, it looks incredible. So now we're going to go back to this view, and then real quick, we're just going to turn off that effect. So see how easy that is?
Uh-oh, Tim Jenkins, was that an accidental donation?
Wait, really? Oh man. Well, if you accidentally donated too much money, I can see about.
I think that you can cancel it somehow. I'm not sure exactly how you do it though. There's one time where somebody meant to donate $5 to us during a stream and ended up accidentally donating $500.
Whoa.
And he was able to get it back.
I don't see how to do it on this screen, but
No. I don't know how that works. How it works there. I think that he can do it. Chris can't do anything from his
all right.
dashboard.
I'll see what I
It
can
has
do.
to
I don't
be-
want to take your $20 if that was not on purpose. That's not cool.
But you should be able to do it. I don't know exactly how though, because we didn't have to do anything for this other guy. He was able to do it.
Oh, cool. I actually bought this game when it came out.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know if I really ever talked about this or not, but the Game Boy Advance was really like the last system where, what is this guy's deal? Who is this guy? He's just hanging. Is he with me or something? I guess. All right. I don't know. Like when new games would come out, I would buy them right away. Like good games.
Oh yeah.
Like all the Castlevanias, the Mario games, or like I'd find out stuff like this was coming out and just think like, because once it was off the store shelves, often it was just gone.
He's your partner.
Because it's a cartridge, based system, obviously. And so I remember buying this one as soon as it came out. And as far as I know, I still have my original cartridge. Wow, look at that.
Tim Jenkins says, the money is nothing. Just believe in what you do. It really means a lot to me and our generation.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks a lot, man. Very kind words.
So, this game is expensive now. So you still have
no,
your...
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying like it's one of those games where I kind of thought it could.
No,
be.
no. Someone in the chat saying that it's rare and expensive now.
Oh, well, there you go. Hopefully, I
But you
still
still
have
have
mine,
it.
and I
Still
didn't.
have yours.
Well, I hope so. I think so. Of course, now I'll go upstairs and look, and it turns out I sold it 5 years ago. I still can't
used
find
it.
my copy of Mega Turrican.
Probably, you remember that service Goozex?
Who's X? What?
Goozex is like this thing that where you could trade games to other people on it for points, and you could use those points to get games from other people.
I don't remember that. No.
It was just like
Cool though.
it was dumb, but I remember. I mean, I think maybe
I'm
like
gonna carbo load here real quick.
7.
But are you saying you used to use that service?
I did it. Well, I mean, there was a couple of games that I got rid of on there because, I mean, it was before the channel, and I was like, well, I'll just trade this in and get some other things that I wanted. And the one I really regret throwing up on there and doing it was Record of Lodoss War for the Dreamcast,
Uh huh.
which is like, it's like a $60, $70 game now, maybe even more.
So it's funny. I had one of the games I was trying to sell at this game convention that nobody wanted. So when the PSP, like right when it kind of was at the end of its life, you know, and it was like disappearing from the stores, I bought, like I bought my original PSP like during launch week. Like I didn't get it on launch day, but I got it like 2 days later. But like right when the PSP was kind of being discontinued, I don't know if it was officially discontinued, but you know it was leaving. I bought like what is it, the 3000 or whatever, like the last hardware revision of it.
Mhm.
And I went on Amazon, and you could still buy like a lot of sort of the AAA titles brand new on Amazon for like 10 or 15 bucks. And I just started like buying up all these games, just thinking like now I'm going to be set for the future. And one of the games that I bought was Persona 3 Portable, and I got it for like 15 bucks. And I mean, I bought all these games and threw them on the shelf, like, you know, I'll get around to playing these when I get around to playing them, you know. And so I never got around to playing Persona 3 Portable, so it was still sealed. And so it was one of the games that I grabbed and I stuck it in this Tupperware bin that I took with me to the game convention. We got to buy the gaming mag. I'm the gaming mag guy. And I didn't price any of my stuff until I got to the convention. And I was sitting there with, you know, like I said, I was looking at sold items on eBay and then just selling it cheaper. And people were charging up to $150 for a sealed copy of Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah.
So I put a price tag of mine. I put $80. And there was a couple guys that were like looking at it really hard, but ultimately nobody bought it, which is kind of fine because I'm not sure I want to get rid of it. Although I feel like at this point, if at some point I decide I want to play the game, you know, I have a PlayStation TV that I've never like hacked or whatever.
Right.
And then I have a Vita that is also unhacked that I could hack. So, oops, I didn't go in there. So, I mean, I don't know that I would ever really want to open, because now at this point, it's like I can't really justify opening the game and playing it when it's worth that much money, you know? Which,
Yeah.
I know it kind of
that's
sounds stupid, but it's true. Like, I have a few other games that are sealed just because I bought them to play them and then never got around to playing them, and now they're worth too much money that, like...
You should do a live stream and you open one of the expensive games and play it right there.
Oh, gosh.
I'd watch that.
Well, but like when I have like, you know, Zelda Oracle of the Ages or whatever, like I'm not just going to play that on a live stream, you know?
Why not?
Well, because it's like, you know, how many hours does it take to beat that game, you know?
You don't have to play all the way through it, but I mean, you had an awesome time slowly playing through Zelda 2 last year. I mean, that would be okay. So you're gonna unbox, open up these whatever game, like these expensive games you have that you wouldn't feel like you would have any other reason to open them.
Yeah.
And then play through the whole thing over the course of several streams.
Yeah,
like
cool.
justify.
Somebody should send me a sealed NES game, and then I'll open that, and then I'll open my brand new NES Advantage and use that to play it.
There you go.
Do you have a top-loading NES?
I do, yeah.
Is it modded or anything?
That is my RGB modded one, yeah.
Oh, nice. I have a top loader that I got a long time ago for pretty cheap. That's like totally unmodified, so I don't do anything with it. And so then I just kind of feel like a jerk, like hoarding it. But then, you know, someday, like 15 years from now, if I do like the NES in 1990, whenever the top loader came out,
You're gonna want that,
then
yeah.
I have it to show, you know.
That's the thing, man. I hear about you selling this stuff at the convention, and now I'm so afraid that it seems like if I get rid of anything, I'm inevitably gonna need it, like within
Yeah,
a year.
That's why normally I don't like selling anything. This was all stuff where I felt confident getting rid of it, or it was stuff I had doubles of. Like I think I sold Zelda Wind Waker for the GameCube, but it's because I have 2 copies. All right, I'm gonna go shop some more.
But there's been times recently where I've gotten, if it's been like a limited release of something I really like, and it's on multiple systems, sometimes I'll just get both versions.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to regret not having one version eventually. Maybe one version is secretly better than the other one, or maybe one version doesn't need a patch and the other one does.
Hey, did you happen to catch Bithead's video where he hooked up his Laserdisc player?
I
don't know which one it was
the
because
one
it's
before the last. I watched the one where he, like, the VCR ate his childhood videotape.
yeah, no, that was this last one that he just uploaded, but it was either the one before that or like 2 of them ago.
Oh yeah, where it's like he found it at the thrift store.
Yeah,
and
but somebody had sent him a Laserdisc of I think it was Mad Max or the Road Warrior. I forgot. It was
Road Warrior. Yeah.
And he played that, but it was funny because I was watching that and I was like, oh, he has a Laserdisc player now. Because I'm trying to put together a little package for him for his Christmas special.
Yeah.
And I have all these laser discs that I found at a thrift store. And, well, here, hold on. Because I don't think...
You have a copy of Terminator 2 on Laserdisc?
I do, but he can't have that.
What?
I said I do, but I'm not sending it to him. I'm keeping that one. But I'll show...
Okay.
It's, as long as everybody promises not to show Bithead, I want to show you guys what I'm sending it. I'm so excited now to send him this stuff. Like, anybody that watches his show will know that this is the kind of, he's a big fan of this actor. So I got... Oh, hold on. This is important. All right. I'm gonna leave the River City Ransom music on now. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Double disc laser disc. Well, I don't know. Oh, see, now there's stuff coming out. Yeah. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fistful of Dollars. Outlaw Josie Wales. And Dirty Harry. I can't wait.
Because he's gonna
because I don't know if he still has it. He had a picture of Clint Eastwood up on the wall of the shed for a long time. I don't know if it's still there, but
I wonder how much of this stuff he like hangs on to. If he's like,
I don't know.
He's gotta have it all in his house at this point.
He swears that he never gets rid of anything that people send him. And I'll admit I don't like doing that either. Like when somebody mails you something, like one of your viewers,
totally, I would never eat.
Unless that's why I have all these mini systems is people give them to me, and it's like if I ever thought like, oh, I could sell these or whatever, I would feel like I'd have to go ask the person that sent it to me, like, hey, do you mind if I, were to sell this or give it away or whatever.
Yeah, I could never do it either. Tim Jenks is saying Bithead needs a Betamax copy of RoboCop.
Somebody sent me a not somebody, it was Mike, sent me a Betamax copy of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, nice.
I had a beta. Well, I didn't. My dad did or whatever. But we had a Betamax player when I was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
With the it had the remote control, but it was attached by a wire to the thing. Oh, hey, I see that Joe. I don't know how to say her last name. Joe Kokin or Cochin. He tweeted at me like 2 days ago. I just barely answered it today. Sorry about that, man. Like I was on my way somewhere and I saw that you tweeted at me, but then a bunch of other people did after that. So it just kind of buried.
I
It's
see there's
funny
also
what Josh said there. That's exactly what he's going to do. You know, Classic Gaming Quarterly. We know Chris.
I see that there's somebody named Monty G in the chat, and my son's name is Monty, and sometimes I call him Monty G for Montgomery.
I already told you this. My neighbor's name is Montgomery.
Is his name Montgomery?
Yeah. And he goes by Monty, but I always call him like Montgomery Wards or Serbia and Montenegro or He actually gave me a TV.
Montel Jordan.
So, oh, he's not gonna know who that is.
Montgomery Burns. There's the REM song "Monty Got a Raw Deal."
See, Bithead should have named his kid Montgomery because his last name is Burns.
Yeah.
He has said his last name on his show, so I don't think I'm not disclosing any information by saying that.
But recently I went back and watched his some of his very first videos.
Yeah.
And there is so much enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's got stars in his eyes.
Yeah.
Early
I
on.
kind of miss that sometimes,
Yeah.
I still like the show though, but
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
when you couldn't wait to come home and talk about a PC Engine game or something, or way back in the day.
now it's more he's slowly switching over to records and stuff. And that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. He's excited about it. He doesn't care about getting copyright strikes and that stuff.
Yeah. Well, usually you don't get strikes for that
so
kind of
did-
stuff.
did-
You just get claims, which isn't the same thing, right? So it's not as big. Of a
Did
deal.
his Super Nintendo Fish Tank video not do good either?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was really shocked by
That's
that.
mind blowing to me. That both that and the N64.
Yeah.
Like
I saw no
did,
reason why
nothing
those
after
weren't
that-
going to
that
do
clear
just as
NES.
well as the other one.
the Super Nintendo, they were both a million times better than the glass.
Yeah.
Than the clear NES.
Yeah. I agree. I don't get it.
That's got to be the. I mean, I guess I can kind of relate in some ways where he spends all that time figuring it out, and you think this is this is a sure thing.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah. I agree.
And then nothing.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, there's some of the videos that I thought would do really well on my channel didn't, and then it's some of the videos that I wouldn't have thought would have been as big of a deal that ended up doing well. I thought this last read-through would do a lot better than it did. Nintendo Power number 2, but it didn't. But and now, I mean, I think the most viewed video on my show now is the N64 launch. It caught up
It
to
passed.
the Super Nintendo when it passed it. This game is really loud.
Yeah, the old N64, man. It's got
It's still too loud.
some rabid fans.
That was part of what I thought was funny about this gaming. So I was at the panel discussion, and there's a kid sitting right in the front row with a Nintendo 64 shirt on, And I'm just like, hello, you didn't watch that video's got 2 million views. You're not one of them, But, I don't.
Right. He wouldn't recognize you because you're not in it.
Exactly. He wouldn't have made the connection.
And he didn't talk the whole time.
Right.
I mean, what if
that's
he-
true. They didn't get to
Like-
hear the famous voice,
Yeah. My name is Chris.
Yeah. What are your what's your position on R-Type? You an R-Type fan?
I mean, I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like it. It's finally finishing R-Type Delta on the PS1 is one of my crowning achievements, I think, when it comes to different shooters that I've finished. Because for me, I love shooters, but it's very much you got to play them and play them and play them. You got to keep on. I'm just not naturally good at them, but I do enjoy putting in the time and effort. And I remember it taking me probably like almost a month of like doing one run a day before I could finish it.
Yeah.
I played the first R-Type on the Master System and liked it. And I would probably buy this. I'd probably buy the Super Nintendo version of this if it wasn't so expensive.
I was gonna say that one's kind of pricey.
Yeah. I know that they have like the repro of it came out. But I have less interest in the repros.
I don't like
even if they're like official repros.
Yeah. Well, if they're official, I guess it would be up.
But
wasn't it hard to get still?
It might be, but it's the fact that if it was made like using, even if they're official, it doesn't mean that they're going to be like electronically sound.
Oh well, that would certainly be a problem.
Which is the case that I've heard with certain of the Retrobit re-releases, and that's why I'm not super excited about the Genesis ones that they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't really care about stuff like that because I'll just play it with a. God,
right, exactly. I mean, unless you're gonna like get the real thing, like why not just play it on a flash card?
Yeah.
Like the original thing, and I mean. It depends. I mean, Jesus. Like I bought that. I imported the Glaylancer reprint. This was kind of like the turning point for me. And the cartridge just wasn't well made. It wasn't like the connector wasn't beveled in any way. So it just
really
like
cutting corners.
Was as good as just getting a repro at a convention, essentially.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool intro for a handheld game.
Yeah, Gradius, it really likes to celebrate its heritage as a series.
It's earned it.
Oh, absolutely. ...2001.
Well, I gotta see if I can do intra-house Uber Eats.
The what?
So I'm trying to do an intra-house Uber Eats. I'm seeing if my wife will bring me down a beer.
So as I said in the when I'm going to be moving, I'm going to be in the basement.
Yeah, welcome to the club, buddy. Basements are awesome. It's always it's like always the same temperature down here.
There's like a bar down there. The basement has like this bar.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know. We're gonna put stools at it.
But I mean, you get the whole basement, right? I mean, that's gonna be.
No, I kind of get this 35-foot long passage.
Oh, you don't get the whole. So is this like a whole house basement then, or what?
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's kind of like it's L-shaped. I get like the straight part of it.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I considering how things have gone here, like I will slowly grow to overtake it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot easier to manage, I think.
Well, that's good.
But it's cool. I'm not looking forward to moving. How long you been living in your house?
We moved in this house in 2012.
Do you,
So this
you
is
feel
the
like it's your
longest-
forever house? Are you staying there?
Maybe not forever, but for a long time. It's the longest we've ever lived in one place, that's for sure. I mean, when I was in college, we would move every year, you know. But yeah, I mean, I hate moving, and the older you get, the more stuff you have, and then the harder it is to move.
Oh yeah.
All right, hold on.
And it's also because other people in your family like move or pass away, and you get their stuff.
Wow, really?
Well, I mean that's how it's happened. Yeah, I mean my mom moved down to Florida, and like she's moving into a condo, and she says I have all this stuff that's been in our family for all this time. It's gonna go to your house. So
Yeah, I wouldn't.
we got to
wanna do
move
that.
all that stuff. I'm not looking forward to moving, but the only thing I'm really nervous is like moving my main TV. Like that is terrifying to me.
What do you mean? What's your like? You
Like
mean
my-
in
my
your living
OLED?
room?
No, like the TV, it's like in the attic here.
Oh yeah, you got like some kind of big mambo thing down there, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing I'm terrified about. But once that's moved and that's all set up, then like everything else is going to be not nearly as bad.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw on the stream there, my wife not only brought me a beer, she put it in a glass for me. That's classy.
Was she just like off to the side, or did she like actually make an appearance on the stream?
No. She just came down the stairs like she's, I think she already changed into like, her sweat shirt and sweatpants, so she doesn't want to be seen on a stream. So she was at the show though, so a couple people got to meet her. Miss CGQ 2019, soon to be Miss CGQ 2020. She holds the record, for most number of years holding that title.
I guess does that make my wife is Miss
She's
MLIG?
well, yeah, but since you've got Try, at some point, he might have something to say about that. You never know.
It's possible. But you got to met my wife at Retro World.
Yeah, she was.
We'd gone to New York a couple days before.
She was super cool. She actually meeting your wife made me really bummed out that my wife ended up not coming to Retro World, just as I think that your wife and my wife would have gotten along real well.
She was going to come at one point, wasn't she?
Yeah. But I mean, part of me is glad she didn't, just because I think I would have been more worried about her having a good time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Sucking tonight.
It would be one thing if she was like at the show the whole time.
Oh no, I'm sure she would have gone and explored Hartford or whatever, so it would have been all right.
Yeah. How exciting would that be? You think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're both people who like to explore, so we can always find stuff to do. But yeah, I agree. Hartford is not, top 5 tourist destination on the Eastern Seaboard. So I want to load up Baldur's Gate here, just because I played Baldur's Gate on the PS2, and then obviously Baldur's Gate on the PC is great. But I had never played it on the Game Boy, and I loaded it up this morning, and it kind of made me late for work, just because I was playing it for a little while, just because I was impressed. It was a lot better than I expected it to be.
I really enjoyed the PS2 version. The thing I remember about it is that I had the coolest looking water I'd ever seen.
Really? So that makes me
Yeah,
want to
the
play it
water-
again just to see the water.
I mean, it probably wouldn't seem that impressive today, but
Yeah.
it was very impressive at the time.
Yeah, I got that game actually, I think right when it came out on it, because that was a pretty early release on the PS2, wasn't it? Like sometime maybe in the first year.
It's a really, I guess, impressive game for the system too. I mean, I don't know exactly why, but John Linneman told me that it's really impressive for a variety of
Well,
reasons.
if he says it, then it's probably
Yeah, if he says the game is impressive, then it's probably impressive.
yeah. I also have the second one, which I think is a little bit harder to find. But I haven't. What is that? That's Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate 2 Dark Alliance. I think that one's called. Unless that's the first one. I don't know. I have both of them, but I have
It's
not.
just Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and then Dark Alliance 2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Okay, I can't talk to
You
this
know,
guy
the
yet.
originals of those games just got released on like the Switch and stuff.
Really? Oh, you mean like the PC
Yeah.
version, or you mean the PS2 version?
Yeah, like the PC versions.
That'd be fun to play.
It's like Baldur's Gate and what was it? Not in Icewind Dale, I think it is.
That's what I was gonna guess.
I never really played any of these. That was the time period that I worked at Electronics Boutique.
What was there was a game, I can't remember what it was called, Dungeon something. It came out in like 2004 or like
Dungeons,
2002, 2003. It was like a dungeon crawler like this, but it was like better. I can't remember what it was called. Sorry, I'm going through all the dialogues.
Was it Dungeon Siege, is that it?
Yes. That was a cool
Okay.
game. Alright. Let me go here now. Alright. He gave us a dagger, so now we have a dagger. Where's the entrance? I forgot. But I mean, you can see already that for a Game Boy game, this is pretty darn cool.
Totally. I mean, it's impressive. I remember the Tony Hawk games looking impressive too.
You know, funnily enough, when I bought my Game Boy Advance, like I got a Game Boy Advance before the SP came out, and that, for whatever reason, that was the game I bought with it. I think it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
It might have been 3 that launched with it.
Whichever one it was, that's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. I ended up just getting Castlevania, but I can't remember what else was
See, I always felt like I felt like Castlevania Circle of the Moon really sucked on the original Game Boy Advance hardware because the game was so dark.
I mean,
Like
yep.
I waited and I played that once I got an SP, and that was like a total game changer. Because it's
Right.
a cool game. Circle of the Moon is a cool game, but
Definitely.
it's just too dark, I think, for that non-lit screen. Like, it took me forever to buy a Game Boy Advance, just because I knew I wanted a lit screen and it didn't have it. Because I would have to lay under a lamp to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Or
the
get
other
a
game I
worm
got.
light.
What's that? Oh yeah, I
Or
never
get the
had a
worm light.
Yeah, I never had a worm. No, that's not true. I had a worm light, but I think I like being under a lamp better. But the other game I bought right away for the Game Boy Advance was the first Golden Sun, which is a really good RPG. Boy, this buzzing in the audio is really bad. I must have used a crappy
Was
quality
it there for
RCA
Sega
cable.
games too? Because remember, there's always like that. Like Game Boy Advance audio is noisy.
No, because I was playing this upstairs on my regular monitor, and the audio is very clean. This is because of this HDMI audio extractor I'm using.
Trigger Mappy mentioned Max Payne on the Game Boy Advance is an isometric 3D game as well.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
For this first party controllers episode, I spent some time earlier today playing Viewpoint on the Neo Geo.
Yeah. Do you like that game?
and-
I like that game, but a lot of people really
it's
talk
pretty
a lot of
good.
smack on it.
I had not really played it that much previously. I mean, I was familiar with it, but I hadn't spent a lot of time with it, and it's really good. If I see it for like under $100, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it usually goes for.
I have no idea. I mean, I have
The number one Neo Geo game that I'm after, though, that it seems to pop up extremely rarely. I've only seen it pop up one time. Is Neo Drift Out.
Oh yeah.
Awesome game.
Yeah. That's a fun game. I don't have that one. Sorry.
I think the Viewpoint is better than Zaxxon.
Yeah.
Zaxxon, however you say it. I've always said Zaxxon.
I should also mention, you know,
Viewpoint doesn't have any of the it doesn't have any vertical movement. It's just left and right.
yeah. I do have we have all the cores on here, so we don't have to. If anybody wants to see something else, you know, we could. I was thinking we could play some super graphics. If anybody wants to see like Daima Kaimura or something, you know, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Wait, you're gonna switch. You're gonna play super graphics?
No, I was just floating the idea.
Yeah.
Is that on
That
or
is
is that
super-
on? Or is that on or is that on? That's the only thing I don't like about this game. Which one? Where's the armor on? I think that's on. Hopefully. There we go. Now it's time to... Is that your Discord that keeps notifying, or is that mine?
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not bothering me. I just want to make sure.
I'll probably do this and so it stops. Hang on a second.
So, big question about your move. Are you going to be closer to a Todd now? Any closer to Todd?
I'm staying in the same town.
Did you? No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you can be across town. Or
I will be no closer
that's too
or
bad.
no further away. I don't think.
See, that would have definitely informed my house purchasing decisions. Like, where's Todd?
Yeah, I mean he's on the other side of the river and a ways up. I mean I'm moving 3 miles away from where I am now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway, we don't need to keep. I don't know. You know, this might not be
Yeah,
that fun to
I
watch.
just need to.
No, not you. I just mean like the folks at home there. I don't know how much. I don't know how exciting it is to keep watching me play this game, but you can just imagine this is the kind of game you could kind of sink your teeth into. You know.
Yeah, it'd be a good portable experience.
Yeah. Watch it. You gotta check out this big ass spider's gonna come up here right now.
Big spiders and rats.
Look at that. Like if I saw that in real life, I would just start crying.
Yeah. Oh my god. I hate bugs in general.
Do you?
If I saw like any kind of big bug like that,
See, normally, like
it'd be over. Like
when there's like,
ugh,
I'm the kind of guy like I'll catch spiders in my house and take them outside. Well, if it's like a daddy long legs, I just leave it alone. But I'm saying if there's like a wolf spider or something in my house, like I'll take it outside. But if there's like one time I posted, I think it was on Instagram, like there was a black widow like in my house. And so that obviously was, you know, instant death. Corey's swiping on Tinder right now.
Yes. Hang on. I'm sorry. 1 second.
See, he didn't even hear what I said. See, it's got like this weird bug where, no pun intended, where you can stand in just the right spot and then like you can attack the bad guys and they can't attack you. Because like
They're all trying to get through the door. They can't.
Yeah, because like these spiders can kill you in like one hit, so you don't really want to be screwing around with them too much. I should save my game now that I'm thinking about it.
Ugh.
What?
It's just like the big spiders
Oh.
fall on their back and they kind of.
Ooh, look at that. We get an axe. Wow, I'm going to switch. mace. No, 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 no. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, oh. See, this game, your hit points will regenerate, which is nice. All right, you got one. Ooh, level up. All right. All right. I'm gonna save the game and then we can switch to something else.
Yeah, let's play someone else.
You want? We're sticking with GBA still for a little while, or?
Yeah, let's play one more GBA game.
Alrighty. I know you guys all want to see Baseball Advance, but I won't play that one.
Baseball.
It's pretty fun, but not really good for a live stream, I don't think.
I can get that stuff.
Could play some F-Zero.
Play one that's not maximum velocity.
How about?
I
Well,
was
here
never- I
I'll
was
play
never
Climax
impressed with
because that
Max
one's
Max.
Japan only. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Buckle up. What are we doing here? Is it gonna load? Oh, there we go. All right. Got it. Look at this guy. People don't like the way I say zero.
Really?
That's one of the things I get in
You
trouble
say
for.
zero?
Zero.
F-Zero?
You say it. How do you say it?
Zero?
Zero.
F-Zero?
Zero. What's the difference? Sounds the same to me.
Were you saying zero?
Zero.
You know, Aaron's saying zero versus Sega. I've been really making a point of getting into a habit of actually saying Sega.
Saying it how?
I've been getting into a habit of pronouncing it Sega
Instead of.
Sega.
So basically, you're bending to the will of the audience.
No, I mean, I feel like when I was young, I would say Sega. And then somewhere along the line, it switched over to Sega. I don't know why.
I'm saying Sega, and that's it.
But a lot of times in episodes, I will go back and forth just so that people like are annoyed by it.
See this? I don't know if you knew this. What makes this version Climax cool is it has a track editor. Like, how awesome is that? Make your own F-Zero tracks. You don't care? Okay. I tried.
Oh, you can make your own track. That's awesome.
Yeah, you make your own tracks. I don't know if you ever played.
So I can't believe you don't have a GameCube.
No.
You should get a GameCube because
Why?
F-Zero X is like worth it alone.
Well, yeah, but hold on. I have a Wii. So
Okay.
like I
You
have the
F-Zero X?
ability. Yeah, I'm saying I don't. That's why I don't have a GameCube. Is I can
Oh, okay.
because I have a Wii and I have the component cables. So the only reason really for me to have a GameCube would be for the Game Boy player. But now a Game Boy player with a disc is like $100.
Grand Prix. Select your class.
Yeah.
We're not rich over here.
Well, you could just get a
I could
Swiss.
I could get a MiSTer and then
Yeah. Oh. That too.
okay.
See, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like,
You do.
for a lot of stuff, I'll use flash carts, but when it comes to, I mean, or like the Mega SG or something like that, like I'll totally use that just for convenience.
Yeah.
But I have to keep the other real hardware on hand because if I am talking about it specifically, I need to be able to
Yeah.
show accurate
Sure.
something that's exactly from it.
Whoops.
3,
There we go.
1, fire.
What's going on here? Oh crap! Do I have is auto fire on or something? All right. I don't know what was going on there. Like, couldn't get any speed. This one's got speech. That's pretty awesome.
That is.
It's funny because a lot of people, for some reason,
they
they think that the Game Boy or the Game Boy Advance was just like a Super Nintendo in a tiny package, but the Game Boy Advance is far more powerful than the Super
can
Nintendo.
scale more than one thing at a time, and it's. I mean, this is interesting. I've never played this. Looking at the car, it looks almost pre-rendered.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Final lap.
This game is quite a bit harder than the original F-Zero as well. Which is maybe a good thing, because the original F-Zero is not that difficult.
Good job. Way to go. Go.
Remy says, I know Chris likes the 49ers. Does Corey root for an NFL team? You're a Bills fan, or do you not care about football particularly?
Yeah. I mean,
Bills are doing pretty good this year.
yeah, they're doing really good. I mean, I grew up outside of Buffalo, so, and I grew up at a time when the Bills were really good.
Yeah.
And when they went through all the Super Bowls.
Four
so
Super
that
Bowls
was,
in a row, man.
yeah, I mean, even though they lost all of them, I mean, that first one they went to, a lot of people considered that to be the best Super Bowl of all time for the longest time.
Oh, the
'Cause it
Bills
was
versus
right down to
Giants?
the wire. Yeah.
Yeah. Wide right.
And I think that's another reason why Madden 92 is my favorite one.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, fire.
I thought it was because of the ambulance.
Well, I mean, the ambulance is the main reason.
Because
I
remember
like
we
it.
were on that, we did that live stream together, and you were playing Madden, and like you spent like an hour trying to get the ambulance to come on the field.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no, no.
The
Hold
ambulance
on,
is
hold
my
on. I
favorite
can do
part.
it. I can do it. Hold on. Just hold on. One more time.
I need to make that stop beeping. Hang on one second.
2 laps to go. You've got a new booster. Hang in
Oh, maybe
there.
that's thinking over here. Okay, come on,
Good job.
that might fix it.
You're moving up.
Keep hitting the wrong button. Too many shoulder buttons, you know. You really got to use the air brakes or whatever a lot more in this game than on the Super Nintendo.
Final lap.
Need to drift a little bit more. Drifting is so funny. I mean,
Give up.
I love drifting mechanics in games, especially. Probably my favorite drifting is in Outrun 2.
Crap. Yeah.
But I'll always remember when
Oh, I suck.
I mean my wife doesn't like know anything about it. And the when the third Fast and Furious came out, the Tokyo Drift,
Yeah.
and
Like she didn't
like,
understand
oh,
what
it's
that.
fun. And she's like, "Oh, is that the one where they're driving sideways?"
Oh, that's funny. I want to see if there's any other games I really wanted to show before we. You ever played Polarium?
No.
It's a pretty cool, like puzzle type game.
I'm not like
You like puzzle?
very
games?
rarely do I get into puzzle games.
Yeah. All right. I think Polarium was like a launch game on the DS. Then they made a. That's my recollection. I could be way wrong. Usually,
if you ever get a chance, you should try out Iridium 2.
Yeah.
The second one is so good. Great soundtrack. We need RGB episodes on second generation consoles. I'm sure that eventually we would do that, but that's gonna be
What,
a
you-
ways off.
What do you mean by second? I'm not.
Wouldn't it be like
I'm not up with all the terminology that kids are using these days. Like what
You
are
were saying,
second
like-
generation consoles?
I don't know. I'm guessing that that's probably like
Like Atari and stuff.
Atari and
2600.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever
Sounds-
need to borrow it, I have a
television.
RGB modded Atari 2600.
Really?
I just feel like no one's gonna watch that video if you make it.
Well, I'm sure there's a subset of people that would.
Yeah, but
Would
like I
like
did the magazine read through of Atari Age magazine, thinking, oh, this will like open up like a whole new audience for me,
Nope.
and like nobody watched it. And I mean, it's understandable. It's just like there's just not that many, you know, the number of Atari 2600 fans that are also like big YouTube viewers is just not a very big group.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun making that video, but you know, that would
My number one fear would be like, what music do I use for that video?
yeah. My number one fear is burning to death.
Well, I mean, my number one fear, in terms of like making a Atari RGB video, that's my number one fear about it. Interesting. I didn't realize, like, doesn't the head on that Arthur sprite look weird?
I don't know. So I had to reset the game because I picked up that freaking flame weapon and I hate it.
Oh, okay. I'm still way behind you, so I'm still watching you play that. Are we gonna do a MiSTer video? Yes. I mean, we probably early in the new year. So Try is working on this. For those who don't know, we've been working on this long form documentary series that should hopefully start coming out from the end of January or beginning of February and go for 5 weeks straight.
Wow.
I'm calling it a mini series event.
Wow, look at you.
But it's 5 near like around hour-long documentaries
Wow.
focusing on different aspects of the retro community, like preservation, modding, the community. Then there's a whole episode dedicated to like the life of Kevtris.
Yeah.
And like because in a lot of ways he is, when in that whole community, like he is the one that's probably the biggest success story
Yeah.
in terms of like using everything he learned to, I don't know, like make his own way or whatever. I don't know, but it's a. So yeah, I mean that should be out. I mean, hopefully in either late January or begin early February. It better be, because like,
That's exciting.
yeah, it's just been in the works for a long time. We interviewed, gosh, I feel like we interviewed like 14 separate interviews, I think, in it. And it's kind of cool because these people are slowly introduced throughout the entire series, so it becomes like this cast of characters.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty neat. But that's what Try's been working on since, I mean, he's been dedicated to that since May, essentially.
That
Like
definitely
research
seems
and
like a lot of work.
yeah.
I don't have the
So I mean,
attention
that's
span
why
for that.
everyone like on the channel, like I've been basically doing everything. Except for like if he's appearing in an episode, he'll write and record and shoot his parts, but like I'm doing all the editing. So I'm hoping that it's once he's finished for that, things will get a little bit easier. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how well it's going to do or not well, because it seems like documentary stuff tends to not do that great on
what do you mean?
YouTube unless I mean, gaming documentaries don't do that great unless you're like No Clip.
What's no clip?
No Clip is a Patreon funded documentary series. They've done a bunch of stuff, but it's
Well, what do you
run
mean when
by
you
this
say
guy-
do? What do you mean when you say do well? Like,
well, I mean, you look at like the artwork thing that we did. The guy who did the artwork,
yeah,
like that, we had an amazing reception to that. Like people were so into that when that came out. and it had more positive comments than basically anything we've ever done.
Uh-huh.
And it like struggled to even make even close to 50,000 views.
Oh wow.
But if you look at the comment ratio to views, it seems really skewed.
Like in a good way, like it's more engaging.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comments on it, but the views just aren't translating. More people felt compelled to comment than normal.
See, that's weird though, because that's like, you know, I thought that was one of the things
Right.
that
I mean,
like,
that,
YouTube
we were
would
super
use to decide.
confused. We thought something was going wrong with YouTube. It's like, I can't believe that it only has this many views with the amount of, like the reception that it's gotten.
Yeah.
But like even like the M2 video, I mean that's close. That's like around 96,000. I mean that's very good.
I mean it is, but
but considering the amount of time spent
yeah,
making it,
yeah,
the amount of money spent making it,
I would have expected more views. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But I mean,
You should start making videos about like the launches of consoles. People like that.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. There's some jackass out there doing it now, but guy can't pronounce stuff properly. He's kind of ugly.
I heard
There's
he's like
space
going
for
bald.
you to take over. Oh yeah, he's going bald. Won't shut
Although
up
I'd
about his
have
car.
the same problem too.
Yeah, but you're at least embracing it, you know.
Well, you basically have.
Yeah, more.
I mean, your hair is really short. It's cut super short.
Oh yeah,
It might as well be like.
this is a number
do
2,
this-
and I'm thinking about going to a number 1.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to take care of. Electron Ash, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I mean, the M2 video documentary I feel is the best thing that I've ever done. And sometimes I'll go back and it was a very emotional experience making it. Just because I didn't think it was going to turn out good for the longest time, and I'm just really proud of it. And sometimes I'll watch the trailer and I'm like, kind of get a little knot in my throat. It's like I can't.
Wow,
believe,
really?
like it came out good. Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, like they always talk about how, like once you let the art go, whatever, it stops being yours.
Wow.
But I submitted it to the GDC, the Game Developers Conference, film festival.
When's that?
So we'll see if it gets into that.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's pretty cool.
They have looking at their restriction, the length has to be at least 1 hour.
At least.
Yeah, at least 1 hour, and the M2 documentary is 1 hour and 26 seconds.
Wow.
So it's like
that almost makes it
just
seem like
made
you
it.
did it on purpose.
I know, but no. I saw a bonk. Oh, it just. Is there any way for people to? I don't know if Smoke Monster's still here. Is there any way to turn it off to make it so it doesn't just automatically boot certain games?
Yeah, because you were telling me the other day that you hate Bonk, right? You said that was like.
No.
You said that game was
What?
garbage. I was kind of surprised when you said that.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
No, I like Bonk. Bonk is. I feel like it's an acquired taste though.
Yeah.
It has a weird like physics, like movement. Okay, so you can delete the boot.rom and that makes it so it doesn't boot it. Okay, that's so I know because I like the Genesis always boots up Sonic. But Bonk's Adventure is good. I really like Bonk's Revenge. But it does have a weird, just like physics is the best way I can describe it. This is a tough version of this game.
Oh yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis might be my favorite game on the system. It's very close, but this, and I can get through it pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't usually have to continue until like the second loop.
I don't like these controls. Hold on.
But this is a really tough game.
That's still not right. All right, there we go. Sorry, I didn't like my button configuration.
Wait, go back to the other screen.
What other
What do you have the?
What?
Do you
This?
have it set to? What do you have the scaling set to? Do you have it set to internal? Because internal, I think, is like a 4x integer scale in the 1080p. Or do you have it running at 1080p, or do you have it running at 720?
No, it's at 1080p. But where do you see where the? This is
on
the kind of
the-
stuff I don't know how to.
Oh yeah,
do.
you're running it internal.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
scale filter internal. Yeah.
Right. Because that gives you some black around the edges.
Does it? Oh yeah. Well, I guess for this game it does. There we go. That now I got the way I like it.
I'm glad that they changed that. I don't think it used to be that. It didn't used to be like an integer scale. But I like that it just runs at its native resolution within the 1080p. Set the filter to interpolation sharp for a nice YouTube picture.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Where is
realize it
that?
does interpolate. It's
what's
probably
that?
just one of
Oh,
the
Smokey.
filters.
Set the filter to interpolation sharp. Is that over?
I didn't realize that it had interpolation, to be honest. It's a brand new filter. Does look. Oh, you're gonna have to get that sword.
You don't like the sword?
I don't know. It's always been the lance and daggers,
Damn it.
like the ones you got to go for.
Yeah, the daggers are my favorite by far.
So apparently, there's a PC Engine CD core coming soon as well.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to mention earlier when I was talking about Atari Lynx. Would be is that a PC Engine CD one would be awesome too. But you know, that's the thing. The more time goes by and the more cores are getting released, like just the more awesome this thing gets. You know?
Yeah. Do you have yours in a case?
Oh yeah.
Do you you have like the light pipes? I love how it looks when the light from the like on the buttons. It's like these little pieces of plastic that like what is it, like diffracts the light or whatever, like makes it like it's pretty neat looking.
You gotta wait for the stream lag to catch up. But
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show.
Pork Chop, you know, he let me pick, you know, MiSTer Add-ons guy. He let me pick what I wanted, so I was trying to go for
Oh,
like
look at that one.
PlayStation.
So
guy.
yours isn't like a see-through at all.
No, I don't think he was making the see-through ones yet. When I got it.
I like that one.
By the way, don't get jealous. I have a Mac Classic right here that I'm going to make a video about at some point.
You should.
Oh, I'm going to. But for this,
That's
channel, not
cool.
yet.
I know that there's an official case coming soon.
What is it? Official from who?
I don't know what the person's name was.
I'm saying, how is that
But it's
official?
like
Like,
It's like a metal case or something like that.
I really like the see-through ones that MiSTer Add-ons was making.
Yeah, I have a jungle green see-through one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like how yours looks.
Yeah, I'm
The official
happy
case
with
is out.
it.
I think it's like $60 for the official case. I guess the most challenging part about that, about getting a case like that and spending the money on it, is that eventually if there's more expansions that come out. Because I have the USB hub expansion that goes underneath.
I have that. It's on there.
Yeah, I mean it's a very small footprint for the whole thing.
For sure.
But if Neo Geo happened, I think that who were we talking to? Maybe we were talking to Smoke Monster about this, about how if, they added the RAM for Neo Geo to work, like theoretically, like N64 could be possible, like with the current setup. Now, with the 128 RAM added, if somebody put the time in to do it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. I mean, I think that's what Keptra said was like the primary limitation on doing a analog N64 is just like the extra RAM.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
If that's all it is, maybe that's coming at some point. I'm sure that would sell quite well.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I think the try was just asking if that would be possible.
What?
If the N64 would be possible with the added on, with the extra RAM. It was just added. I think that was just based on what I think the Keptra said. I think he was asked. That's what it was. He was asking about it, saying like, "Do you think it'd be possible?" Thinking aloud. Rather.
Am I wrong? I seem to remember that this was a game that you could play on a regular PC engine or on a Super Graphics.
Is this the one that it changes to a totally different game?
Oh, I didn't think it was a different game. I just thought it was sort of more enhanced if you played it on a Super Graphics. But I'm very unsure of what I'm saying right now.
That sounds familiar, but I'm pretty sure that this is one if you play to to the end of where the arcade game would normally end, it has like all these extra levels.
Oh, what? If that's true, that's news to me. Did you, since we're playing PC Engine, did you pre-order the PC Engine Mini or
I did.
TurboGrafx
I pre-ordered the Japanese, the white PC Engine.
Oh, cool. I pre-ordered the TurboGrafx just because I already have like 2 PC engines, but I don't actually have a TurboGrafx 16 anymore. So, although I'm just kind of cooling off on mini systems in general, so I wouldn't be surprised if I may get it and do a live stream with it, and then just decide maybe I give it away or something.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just think they're cool to.
No, they're definitely cool. I'm not saying they're not, but for me, there's just like a space
I have no desire to play anything on them.
Right.
I just think they're cool to have.
No, they are. I just don't have a lot of space, Or I do have space, but I have a lot of crap. Would be a more accurate way to put it.
You're giving away that Tower of Power, man. That's like whoever gets that is gonna like make their year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I mean, it's cool, but like I have the real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I have a Model 1 Genesis and Sega CD and the 32X. Like, I have a Tower of Power. So like, that's a cool collector's item, and I'd rather make somebody else's Christmas. Because mine was just sitting on a shelf. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what mine is doing too. I mean I have the first NES Classic that I had. I hacked it for my kids.
Yeah.
Stuff on it. But I just have another one. I just like keep it boxed.
Yeah, I think I have 2 of them, and I hacked one of them, but because like one of them I paid for. Like the first one I got, a viewer sent to me, so I got kind of hang on to that one, and then I bought another one at Target, and I hacked that, and then I also have that special edition Famicom Mini.
Oh, that's right.
You know, and then I have a Super Nintendo Mini that again somebody sent to me, so I don't want to really get rid of that.
But I'm getting the PC Engine Mini from Amazon Japan.
You can do
I
that.
don't think it's going to be a similar situation where they send it out to anybody. So it doesn't seem like Konami does that kind of thing.
You know, I don't know, but I don't know. I'm really cooling off on doing that. Not like I'm going to judge anybody else for doing it. I don't mind, but I just, you know, it just always comes with strings attached or like, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was going to talk about my whole thing with Sega yesterday on the stream tonight, but then once you were on the stream, I figured you don't want the stink of anything I have to say rubbing off on you, but it just annoyed me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to the way I've navigated it is just to say like, well, look, I can do this,
Yeah.
but I can't do anything else, and I just say like, and if you just want to like leave it at that and forget about it, then that's totally fine. I understand, but what I can do is you know, like you're talking about how they wanted you to do like a giveaway or whatever.
But no, that's what I wanted. I said, fine, I would give away their stuff. That was the thing. Is just like, I just feel like they reached out and wanted to send me a Genesis Mini. I took it. You know, they were sending them out for people to do like reviews or like live streams with, and then I did it. And then since then, I've just had them send me like multiple emails about multiple different events, where now they basically want me to do like follow-up promo work for them for free. And to me, it's just part of what's wrong with that whole
Well, I mean,
system.
you can just say like, no, I mean, I don't really have any plans to do anything like this, or just like ignore the emails. But I mean,
well,
what happened with
that's
me
what I
is, like,
normally do. But when she said like, oh, we want to send you stuff to give away to your fans, I was just like, okay, well, that's when I told her. I said, I'm doing this Christmas live stream. I would be happy to give anything away that you want to say. If you want to send me some game codes, I'll do the giveaways on my live stream. And that's when she responded and was like, no, we want like Genesis Mini specific content. And it's like, to me, it was just like, I'm offering to do you a favor, and then you're saying, no, you're not. We want you to do another Genesis Mini live stream, and then we'll give you stuff to give away to your fans. And
right.
That just really rubbed me the wrong way. Like,
I mean,
it did, like, they're allowed to ask, and it's fine, but it was just like, I don't know. And then there was people on Twitter telling me I was being an e-beggar when I wasn't asking for anything for myself. I was basically just saying, if you want to send me some game codes, I'll randomly give them away to viewers on the live stream. Like,
right.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's what we're going to be doing. I mean,
yeah,
hopefully
that's
it's
cool.
happening this.
But,
I mean, we're just like, they said, oh, we'll give you these. We'll give you codes for all the games that we release this year for you to give out. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I said I can do it. We can do it on our Sunday night stream. Our Sunday night streams usually get this many people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy to do it. And they're like, okay, do you want to, so all we need to do is just like play the Genesis Mini again? And it's like, we can talk about that. It's like, just reason to do it, you know, just play it. And they said, well, now that we're like thinking about it, we're thinking we'd be totally okay if you just wanted to play one of the other releases that you'd be giving out.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I mean, that's totally fine too. I mean, I'd rather do that because there's, I don't know, it's like some Sega Ages stuff, like the Switch stuff. Like, I'll play some Sega Ages.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool. It's just like I haven't really thought about what I want to play on my Christmas live stream, and I just don't really want.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
I don't want Sega telling me what I'm going to play on my Christmas live stream.
Totally. I mean, that's why I would have just been like, don't make it your Christmas live stream. Just make it like a 2-hour stream where you interact with the people in the chat and just drop codes in there throughout the thing, throughout it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I feel like why do I have to promote their stuff on top of giving away codes for their games? Like, to me, the act of doing that is promoting their stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't need to also play your games too. Like, it's like, you know, I do my live streams. I like doing it, and I like hanging out with all the guys. It's like, I don't know. And then it made it worse. I just kind of wanted to quit, so I didn't. I cut my losses on Twitter. But she emailed me back, and somehow she took what I said to her to mean that I wanted her to pay. I wanted her to pay me. And it's like, that's not. All I said was that, you're asking me to promote your stuff for free when I've already done it, and you're asking for more. And I said that I think that takes kind of a lot of nerve. And she's like, oh, well, we don't have the money right now. And it's like, I wasn't saying I wanted payment. I don't. What's that?
Just kidding. I was like, wait, you think they'd pay?
Well, no, she even said, she's like, well, you can send over like what your rates are, and the next time we have like a paid. And I'm like, that's not where I was going with that at all.
Yeah. I mean, you had a very good experience with the Sega Genesis Classics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was fine. I think that those were different PR people, though. That was like a different company.
But I mean, I can understand. And not only that, but I mean, just running something like that by yourself,
right?
Like during a stream is
right.
Like, that is intimidating. I mean, that's the only reason we do stuff like that is because one of us can, like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be talking to the chat and dropping in codes, and I'll just be playing something.
Yeah.
And it just it makes it so much easier to manage.
Well, but that's my point, is I just felt like I was basically offering to create work for myself just to try to kind of help them out, just because I feel like, they've sponsored my show before, and we did the Genesis Mini thing. And I just felt like,
right.
I kind of wanted to just, I feel like we have some kind of, business relationship, however insignificant it might be in the grand scheme of things. And so when she reached out multiple times with the same type of email, I'm like, okay, well, okay, if you want to send me some codes, I'll be happy to give them out for you on my live stream.
Right.
Right? I feel like, okay, I'm doing you a favor then. And so when she comes back, like, oh, that's not good enough. It's like, you're not. What do you mean it's not good enough? That's like when a homeless guy asks you for money and you give him $1 and he's like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it. Now, I'm probably, I'm sure I'm probably being overly sensitive and reactionary about it, but it's just like, I don't feeling like I'm being taken advantage of it by, because I'm like an influencer, whatever that means.
Well, I mean, like it or not, we do fall under that banner.
Yeah.
Whether or not we want to.
All right. Do we want to play anything else real quick? This stream's almost 3 hours long. I'm getting pretty tired over here. I don't know. Actually, I think we're going to kind of stop there. I'm going to switch back to this view, and if we have anything else we want to chat about for a few minutes, we can do so. And then, it's like 2:00 in the morning where Corey is.
It's 11 o'clock, but I do have to
in Nova Scotia.
Both of my kids stayed home sick from school yesterday.
Yeah.
And so my wife she can work from home whenever she wants, it seems like. So she stayed home and let me sleep. And it was the best, the most solid sleep, block of sleep I've had in 7 years, I think.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
I slept for 11 hours. I went to bed at
really
11:45 that night.
Yeah. And you woke up at 9:45 the next day.
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
And
see, I didn't want to say anything, but I thought you seem more chipper than usual. But
well, I mean, that's just feeling like that. That's the thing is once you get to, it's been so long that I can't even think of the last time before the other day that I've had a night where I just slept all the way through and didn't have to worry about or wake up or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not even me waking up, half the time it's just my kids coming and getting in bed with us.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that works out is that you end up with this much space.
Did you used to do that when you were a kid? I feel like that if I had done that, I would have gotten in trouble. Yeah.
But the thing is, what I started doing when that happens is I go to sleep in my daughter's bed. When she comes in, I'll go and get in her bed. Mm-hmm. And she has my bed from when I was a kid.
Wow.
And it is the most comfortable bed in this entire house.
Wow.
No lie.
Mm-hmm.
If I could sleep in that bed every night.
Yeah.
And I would.
Well, someday you can. I mean, your daughter will go off to college and.
Yeah. Well, after this is going to go to my son after this. And then I mean, that's the big thing that we're excited about with this move is like my kids are going to have their own room.
Oh, they
I mean,
don't right now?
They could have their own room, but it would totally throw things into chaos
I see.
here.
Mm-hmm.
But there it's going to be like they're each going to have a room that's the size of the playroom here. And the reason, it's not like this house is like small or anything. It's just laid out really weird. It
Well,
used
it's
to
an
be
old house, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, it's 140 years old, but it also used to be 3 apartments.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So there's like this whole attic where I'm set up here. There's like where I have my games in the other room. That's like, it used to be a bedroom. This used to be a living room, and there's a kitchen, and then
Yeah, that explains why you have a kitchen. Do you actually use that kitchen ever, like up there at all?
I don't use the kitchen now.
Just to make coffee or something?
I mean, I used to, like when we first moved in here, but like as time goes on.
Do you
I
drink
just
coffee
feel-
though? Because I remember when we were hanging out,
my.
you were telling me how much you like chicory, which I've never even tried.
What?
Or you were like, you know what I like is chicory.
What is? I have no.
Chicory with stevia and soy milk.
What? Yeah, are you being serious, or you just busting my chops?
I mean, I'm not being serious in that you didn't actually tell me that, but that is a thing that people drink.
I've never even heard of it.
I think Mormons. I mean, I don't know if there's any Mormons in the chat, but I think that's where I learned from it. Is from a Mormon. Like it's like a coffee substitute because it doesn't have any caffeine in it.
I mean, why even drink coffee if you can't have the caffeine?
Oh, come on. That's like saying why even smoke cigarettes if you're not trying to look cool in front of younger girls or something.
I mean, I have no interest in drinking decaf coffee. But I mean,
Sometimes I'll drink decaf like late at night or something if I just want a coffee. Or like sometimes we make affogatos for dessert. You know, like
What?
a affogato. It's a shot of espresso poured over a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Oh, that sounds
But-
amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really good. But my wife, she's pretty sensitive to like having caffeine late at night. Like it'll keep her up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I drink coffee like all day. I don't have a problem. But oh yeah, see, look, someone knows. People know what I'm talking about with the chicory.
I've never heard of it. It must be one of those West Coast things.
That's not what they're saying down there. Coffee and chicory is a Louisiana thing, Dave Bladegun says.
Oh,
I
one
gotta
of those southern things.
I gotta go to Louisiana, man. Get some of those donut things they make. What are those things called that you get in New Orleans with the powdered sugar all over them? Whatever it is, I need some of those, and I want to go to like one of those crawfish feeds. You know, eat a bunch of crawfish.
Yeah. I had a friend.
Beignets. Somebody got it right.
I had a
There's
friend when I lived in New York that was like from Baton Rouge, like loved his crawfish and used to we'd go out.
See, at some
So I
point,
think-
your live stream chat reaches some kind of critical mass where
Or
no
becomes about
matter what you don't know, like somebody in the chat, you know, we have the
100%.
entire like collective, you know, human knowledge, the totality, the sum of human knowledge is in the chat room that somebody will know.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, I probably drink too much coffee now. It's
Yeah.
slowly escalated in the last year.
what do you drink? Do you just make drip coffee?
We have a Keurig.
Really?
But
You don't
we-
even though you have kids, you just don't care about the environment, or
No, we use reusable Keurigs,
oh, all right. Sounds like
and
a lot of work.
we compost the grounds. Damn it!
Wow.
So I mean,
See, I have an espresso machine, so I just send the capsules. You know, they're aluminum, you know, so they cut open the capsules and they compost the coffee and then they recycle the aluminum.
That's cool.
So it's like I have all of the, you know, I can feel good that I'm not, you know, but I don't have to do any of the work. See, you're composting. Hey, if you're composting coffee grounds, do you have a worm farm?
no.
My wife went through
We have
a
this big, like,
phase where
barrel.
she was big into having a worm farm.
I mean, there's a time where my wife was using the coffee grounds in her garden.
Oh, my wife does that. You know what that's good for if you put them in your front yard is it will keep cats from using your yard as a toilet because they hate the smell of coffee.
Well, it certainly has not stopped them from using our backyard as a toilet.
No, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I mean that's where it is in the backyard, and we had this stray cat that like comes and sits in the window, and my cat is a house cat, doesn't go outside and sits on the other side of the window, and they just like look at each other.
Oh, man.
I'm convinced that they're dating.
It's a standoff. hey, Pin Mike, are you talking about Zeppeli? It's probably something else that Corey's never heard of.
Zeppeli?
Yeah, see, he doesn't know. Doesn't know chicory, doesn't know Zeppeli, doesn't know affogato.
We were talking about my friend from Baton Rouge. Every year he would get a king cake.
Boy,
Sent from-
Dave Bladegun says, please tell my wife to shut up and go to bed. She's making it hard to enjoy the stream. Man, I don't want to speak for Corey. I don't ever tell my wife to shut up. That wouldn't, I mean, I could, it would just make it worse. You know, she doesn't take any,
Get some headphones on.
she doesn't take any guff. Now she's crying. Well, I didn't tell her. I was just reading what you said. Mrs. Bladegun, you do not need to shut up.
I want to know. I want to know if that's actually Dave. If Bladegun is actually his real last name, because that's kind of awesome.
I kind of doubt it. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just, what is it, like $50 in a form you have to fill out? It could be your last name, Corey Bladegun.
Yeah. I don't know. I see Electron Ash talking. I want to change my last name to a Thomas Wave.
I could see that.
I wonder if there's anybody out there that has the last name of Thomas Wave.
Corey Thomas Wave. Maybe like if there was some dude, I don't know where I got this from, but you know, like some guy named like Lance Cortex or something.
Don't do it.
No. But that would be cool.
Yes. I can't not laugh about it.
Yeah.
I can't not laugh.
Yeah. What do you got?
So yeah, I mean, you saw my Karnoff marquee, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice. That looks like it's a nice. Is that plastic or glass?
Yeah, I mean it's plexiglass.
Oh, okay, plastic. It looks like
It's got
in,
like holes drilled in it.
Looks like it's in really nice condition.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
think it was $8. I couldn't say no to that.
Here, hold on. Let me go get. Well, where do you usually keep that?
It's usually like right above my TV.
Oh, but it has holes in it, so you can just mount it on the wall, right?
Yeah, but I don't mount it. I
Oh,
mean,
here,
we'll see what I.
Well, hold on. I was going to show you how I hang up my. I found a pretty cool way to hang up arcade marquees.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have to unplug. Don't talk because I have to unplug the thing here.
Okay.
Now I got to plug it back in. All right. So, I mean, I don't know where I got these. You can get them at the hardware store or something. I think these are for mounting plates on your wall. Like, you know, people go on vacation and you buy like a plate. Like you go to
so
Munich
far
or you go to Yosemite or you go to, you know, you get one of those famous Cincinnati touristy plates that everybody's selling on the street corners over there. And so they have like this thing. So this has these are springs, and then it has just these little claw things on it. But then it has a thing for you to hang it. So, you know, like I got that. And you can see the two little. So when you buy it, though, it's just wire, right? So it's metal. So, but I didn't want to like scratch my stuff. So I put a little bit of heat shrink on there as like padding. But see,
Yeah.
then you can hang those on the
That's
wall.
kind of awesome, man. I would love to have a golden axe.
Yeah, look at that one.
Like that's an arcade board that I want to get. That's an expensive arcade board.
This one, you know how I got this Golden Axe marquee?
Do you steal it from your local round table pizza?
No, it came with the Golden Axe PCB that I bought.
Oh,
So I bought. I don't know. I mean, I think I told the
that's a
story
heck of a
maybe.
deal, then.
Well, it was weird. It was off of the, I don't know, whatever arcade forums, you know, where everybody buys and sells this stuff. somebody was selling according to them, it was a complete Golden Axe kit. And I was just like, that was like the number one arcade PCB I was looking for. I really didn't want a kit, but I'm just like, whatever, I'll take it. And so this guy sends me, all this stuff, and it's, it's a Golden Axe 1 board, and then this marquee, and then a bunch of Golden Axe 2 crap. Like, not crap, but not gold, Revenge of Death Adder. So not Golden Axe 2, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was like a partial conversion kit for Revenge of Death Adder. So it was like the bezel, the monitor bezel. It actually came with the side art, like, the gigantic stickers that you would like stick on the side of a dynamo cab.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat, but it was for Revenge of Death Adder. So I was like, I don't want any of this stuff. But I got the PCB and the marquee for Golden Axe. So like that was.
But would it have been more money if he had given you the other stuff?
No, he did give me the other stuff. I'm saying he sent all. I didn't, because he just said it was a Golden Axe kit.
You still have it?
It was when it showed up that I saw that half of the stuff was Golden Axe 2 stuff.
Do you still have it?
I don't know. I might have sold it. I don't remember. Because I had it just stashed in the attic because I was like, what am I going to do with this stuff now? Because, I mean, you can imagine like that might, I'm sure that sounds neat, but when you have like 4-foot tall stickers that are supposed to go on a cabinet, and they're like folded up, or not folded, but rolled
with the
up.
Monitor bezel and stuff. That's big. Awesome.
Yeah, the monitor bezel was pretty neat. Somebody says, "Hey Chris, it's Michael from Australia." What's up, Michael from Australia? Hopefully you're safe down there. I hear half the continent's on fire.
But Revenge of the Death Adder would be an awesome arcade board to have.
That's one I'm kicking myself for. I could have bought that one for like somewhere in like the $150, $180 range. At one point,
no, it's really expensive.
and I didn't. And,
but Joe Redifer has it, and he was telling me about how he went to play it the other day.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, and then the sound died on it, like randomly.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a problem with System 32 arcade boards.
Well, that happened to me with my Final Fight board. Like my friend
the
came.
Sound just stopped working.
No, but like it quit working. Like not the sound, but it's a CPS Capcom CPS 1 game, and they're famous for having the A boards are really unreliable. And I had paid all this money for Final Fight, and my friend Cody came over, and we're gonna play some 2-player Final Fight, and I stuck it in the machine, and all the graphics were all like screwed up, and because the A board died, and so then I had to buy a whole nother CPS, because you can never just buy an A board, because there's a shortage basically of A boards, right? Because so many of them have gone bad, so now you have more B and C boards out there. So nobody's going to sell you an A board, right? So I ended up having to buy another Capcom CPS 1 game just to get the A board. That's why I have Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior, and I have Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, because the only reason I bought World Warrior was to get the A board. So now I have 3 CPS games, but I only have the 1 A board, so I have to keep switching the board back and forth if I want to play a different game, which makes me nervous because the A board is like finicky, and so like having to keep unplugging and plugging in B boards like makes me nervous,
Right, so you just want to leave it plugged in all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got Champion Edition in there, so
Yeah.
And I finally got my kick harness hooked up on the machine back there, so now I can play the game.
I need to start looking into getting more arcade games.
Yeah.
Getting Final Fight was the first one I bought in probably a year and a half or so.
You should get a arcade cab, man. That'd be cool.
Well, that's the plan. If I have room in the new house, I'm going to get a candy cab.
Talk to Todd. Maybe he's got some contacts or hookups or something. He used to run like group buys for stuff on the forums, so he might
He might know some people.
I mean, I don't know if it happens anymore, but it used to be very common, like on the Neo Geo forums or something, that you would do group candy cab buys, like, and they would send a whole sea container like full of these over from Japan,
right?
And then you get them pretty cheap. Like I'm sure that's where this one. I didn't buy this in a group buy, but that's probably where it came from. $450,
Yeah, I mean
That's like
how much
free.
it costs. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
With the amount of use that I mean, how often you sit at it and play it?
Not that often.
When was the last time you played it?
Not that long ago. I played. Well, I lied. September, I guess I would say, because
You just leave Street Fighter at 2 in there.
no. Well, I have a Neo Geo one slot that I can stick in there, and then I have a whole stack of MVS cartridges. But the last time that was on was I don't know if you remember in the Dreamcast launch video. There was the little section where I was talking about the Age Tech stick, and it was a really short shot, but I was just mentioning how the Age Tech stick is modeled after Sega's arcade cabinet controls.
Right.
And so I don't know if you'd still call that B-roll or not, but I took like a little shot, like panning down the front of the candy, of mine,
B-roll.
showing the controls, and so I had to turn it on. So as long as it was on, I was playing Street Fighter on it like all day, and that was the last time I turned it on. So like now
What's
you
in
can
there
see
now?
I have crap all over the control panel. There's Hot Wheels all over it. I have a Hot
If you
Wheels
turn it on right
sickness
now,
bag.
is there anything in it?
Yeah, Street Fighter's in it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, I wouldn't take it out. Like what for? Unless
Yeah.
I'm going to put something else in there.
I had a friend who got a Golden Axe board
Yeah,
recently, and none of the voices work,
that's weird.
which is like one of the best parts about the arcade version.
I mean, a lot of times it's
Hold
just
on.
it could be just one of the ROM chips in there is bad or something.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure generally speaking, arcade boards are fixable. I think the problem with the CPSA board is one of the chips on there was like a custom made chip, and so you can't buy a new one. Like I saw it scrolled away or something, but someone in the chat was saying they had an A board that went bad, and oh, it's right there. Electron Ash said that he had an A board that just needed a new Z80 processor, so that's easy. But I think the chip that primarily goes bad on the CPS boards is some kind of proprietary Capcom chip. So,
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody who can fix it though out there.
yeah, or somebody like that. Somebody should make an FPGA based CPSA board. Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. He
that'd be
says the chip
amazing.
on the CPSA board is called the CPSA. So there you go. Mystery solved.
Working on CPS. It seems like they're working on everything.
What, you mean like a MiSTer Core CPS?
I'm sure that there is. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
sure there's one.
cool.
it'd be
I've never played, because Ghouls and Ghosts is a CPS one game. I've never played the arcade version, I don't think. So I would love to check. I mean, I've played it on like, the Saturn Capcom Generations discs, but I've never actually played, the real thing.
Yeah, I remember playing it at an Aladdin's Castle
Yeah. What is that? We don't have that here. Is
in
that?
in the Warren Mall in Warren, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
I was just reading something about how National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation came out 30 years ago. This month.
Wait, the
like,
original
like,
Vacation you said, or Christmas Vacation? Sorry.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah, they're playing that they're gonna sometime this month. They're gonna show it in the movie theater here where I live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just associate it with the Genesis because it came out the same Christmas as I got my Genesis,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool.
and I remember
didn't
going
you-
to the
I thought you-
mall on Sunday.
Yeah.
My birthday is the day after Christmas, and we'd always
Oh,
go
that
and spend
sucks.
our Christmas money.
Just see, we might have some marital strife going on in the chat,
Uh-oh.
if that's real. Sometimes we have marital strife
Flashing
going on.
blade gun.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think Dave might be playing a trick on us. I'm not sure, but sometimes we got Derek and Teresa are a married couple that they were in the chat here earlier. I think they probably went to bed, but sometimes it seems like things get a little bit chippy between them in the chat too. Which is I always wonder what that's like because it's like you're in the same house. You might even be in the same room, but you're both like separately logged into YouTube.
Yeah, and if
and then you're gonna
arguing with each
fight,
other
like-
in there. Like, is it awkward then when you see each other?
Right.
Next time? Or they're just like, oh, I was just like laughing about it. They're probably just sitting next to each other laughing about it.
Yeah. Well, it gives us something to talk about. All right. Well, anyway, you want to wrap it up then?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on.
Yeah, I mean,
You're kind of sliding out of the frame right now, which is funny. Here, let me. I can fix
like
it.
I'm like,
We'll break the
No, it's
fourth
just me. I
wall.
just-
What's that? Look at this over here. We can just get Corey out of the picture. Nobody can. What is this right here? Is what I want.
what is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
this
like
right
a,
here?
Is that like a vent or something?
It's a window. I
Oh,
got
it
a.
is?
Hang on, let me see if I can. These are. Yeah, it's a window. These are sound dampeners though in it.
Oh, that's why it looks weird. Okay. I've never messed around with those. I see. Do you use a lot of like acoustic insulation where you record your voiceover stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, I use this. I use like an acoustic shield now,
Yeah.
which is. Want me to show you? I can go and grab
See,
it really
I gotta
quick.
fix him because he can't sit still.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah. This just looks highly unprofessional right now. There we go. No, not strike, strife. Yeah, right, like egg carton insulation. I have a moving blanket and a pillow, and that's all I use.
Can you? You're gonna have to zoom out or something like that so you can see a little bit better.
Oh, all right, hold on.
This is when I use to record my.
Here, we're just gonna look at that. Oh yeah, those things. Yeah, I've seen those. Here, look, you can have the big screen. How about that? Nobody wants to see my face anyway.
So it's like my zoom right here. I don't know if you can't really see it that well. Sorry.
What do you got in there? What kind of? Oh, you directly record into the Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Which Zoom was that? What is that? A H6? What do you got over there?
Yeah, it's the H6. I'm
Yeah,
using the shotgun mic on it.
So you had to buy that separate, right? It doesn't come with the shotgun.
Right. I was using some other ones, but this is kind of like a makeshift thing that I built right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can't really see. Let me see if I can move it. So this thing right here is just like a cage that you can use. You're supposed to put a camera on it, but I put my zoom on it, and I have this thing up here that I run the script in on a little teleprompter, so I just read it. So
That's
cool.
cool.
I can emote and move better
Yeah.
this way by standing. Usually I have it like standing height.
Sure.
But, I mean, it's all like on a
Yeah.
ball head.
Yeah. That looks pretty cool.
And now I got to figure out all the acoustics of the new place. Hopefully it's not a problem. I utilize everything that I've learned from here. There. I hope. Yeah. Just about figuring out the best way to do it. The acoustic shield though is pretty cool. I got it like on a Black Friday deal from a Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like $60 or $70.
Well, that's pretty good. I bought a moving blanket at Harbor Freight. It was
what?
Like a moving blanket.
Oh, where did you get one from?
I don't know, like Harbor Freight, probably something like that.
Huh?
It's like $5.
Because I might use that as like a sound dampener, depending on what the situation is like in the new place.
I mean, because it's folded a bunch of times, so then it's pretty dense. You can't just use it in one layer, but because where I record, it's probably not as easy really to show right now. But this basement has like this concrete ledge that goes along. Here, let me make it so people can see me too.
Just like hanging out over
Just,
here
like,
in the corner,
taking over my live stream. There we go. That's good. Isn't that good enough? That's good enough.
There we go.
Whatever. That's not perfect, but I don't care. It's like this concrete ledge that's like right at like chest height, so it's like a perfect height. I just put my microphone's just on a little stand, and I have my Zoom, and then I have a moving blanket that's folded in half a few times. That's like it's on the surface, and it goes up the wall, and then I have a pillow like above that, and I don't really hear any reverberation that's too bad. So,
Do you usually do all your voiceover in one sitting?
oh gosh, no, I can't. Like my voice, I can't do that much before I lose my voice. Like even just doing a live stream, like this is the most talking I ever do. So like I lose my voice pretty easily. So, so no, I do it in like usually, because you can take my launch videos and break them down into sort of logical little sections. So I just do them like one at a, because I don't ever move any of this stuff. So if I record something today and I come down here tomorrow and record something else, it'll sound the exact same. So
I'm envious of doing it like that. I really want to do our episodes in more of a piecemeal method.
Yeah.
Where I do like one segment, record it, edit it, and like just put it in and do it. But we script everything, record everything, and just like do one big long edit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm in this place now where I do like the on camera stuff like last. I don't know how much I like.
I don't hardly do any on camera stuff. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean.
That's why people like you more is because you're on camera. Well, no, I really think it makes a difference. I mean, people like you because you have an awesome show.
You see it on the plus though. You see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I mean, we started doing those mini episodes where it's more of a casual conversation, so people can just see us interacting.
Yeah.
In more of a natural way. And there's this one guy. I mean, like comments like these don't bother me, and like I understand. They're like I can't. They said I can't even stand Corey in like the normal episodes, but when I see him just like talking, he seems like the kind of person I just want to hang out with.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know how to make scripted things sound like I'm just talking, like I'm just like having a conversation with somebody.
I mean, well, I'd say I think I've probably experienced the exact same thing. I mean, I would say most people like my narration style on the main show, but there is certainly like a smaller subset of people that can't stand it. Like they hate the way I talk when I'm like reading a script. But then, then I'll get people on the side channel being like, "Oh, you seem like you'd be a cool guy to hang out and talk about video games with." So, I mean, to me, like I don't want the narration on like a launch video shouldn't sound super conversational in my opinion.
Right. That's
like if you turn on the news, and Lester Holt's just like, yeah, so there was this shooting over there in like Jersey yesterday. Like, what's up with that? I got to go to Jersey a couple of years ago. They have really good pizza over there, and you're like, what? I'm watching the. You have to sort of sound authoritative, and I understand. Like, I think some people don't like that on YouTube because they're used to watching more casually produced stuff where things sound more conversational, and like all of a sudden you come in there with your like newscaster voice, but it's just like. I think for both of our shows, I think it would be a detriment if your narration sounded too casual or too conversational.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people like, oh, he like moves his head way too much when he's on camera talking.
Who does that?
Like, well, a lot of people say that why can't you stop moving your head so much when you talk? And I mean,
it's just the way.
That's something I've thought about, like when I'm doing it. It's just that when I start talking, like I get. When you're in front of a camera and you're just trying to read these lines, you start to come up with like movements of ways of like to make it easier to remember to like say things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's just something that I've tried to tone down, but it just happens. I mean, I move a lot when I talk. And so I think, I don't know who it was, said when you're on camera, to get a certain enthusiasm across, you have to exaggerate your movements just a little bit more.
No, I definitely agree with that, because there are times when I'm recording, if it's like an intro, like let's just say it's like I'm doing a magazine right through and I'm like, on this episode or whatever, let's read, and like I'll feel like Like when I first started my show, I did it like I would normally talk to a person. And then I would watch it back and be like, God, I look so stiff. And people would, somebody told me I look like I have the personality of like a wooden Indian, but they weren't wrong. It really looked like that. And then I'll do these takes where like, I think I'm being like annoyingly enthusiastic. Like, oh, that must have been a good one. And then I'll go watch it back. And it's like, to me, it was still like my face muscles felt like I was smiling, but then you watch it and it's like, yeah, it doesn't look like I'm smiling at all. But then I don't want to be like cheesy,
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I do agree with you about the newscaster voice. Like I don't want to change the way that I do the regular episodes, because I don't consider our main videos to be like, we're not like personality driven.
Yep.
We're information.
Yep. Yeah.
Information driven.
I feel I've said that I've said some version of that before on my show. I agree. It's not the point of the show.
I see Electron Ash saying that John Lennon is annoyingly good at narration. And he's like gotten like a lot better in this last year. And I think a lot of it comes down to him doing the DF direct stuff that they do, because they record so many of those, like 1 or 2 of those a week. And he's just very good at getting his information out because of being so in practice with that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, I am gonna stop the stream then.
Yeah, we just keep on going. I think we had this same problem last time.
That's not a bad. I mean, people can stop watching anytime they want. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather stop. Go a little bit longer than stop it too soon.
Yeah.
So I'll just recap, and then Corey can pimp out whatever he wants.
Okay.
If anybody wants one of these awesome Classic Gaming Quarterly trading cards. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say about this convention, was that I told you this in Discord chat, but they were like using my real name instead of my channel name. Like when they they got on the PA system and they're like, in 20 minutes we're having a YouTuber panel in the panel room, and they said everybody's name, like Arlo and Loxton and Chris Alimo. Nobody know, like the average person that may have seen several of my episodes, they don't know my name. Like, why would you not say Classic Gaming Quarterly?
I mean, the only time that your name is ever on screen is at the ending credits.
Right, exactly. It's not, and that's the way I want it. It's Classic Gaming Quarterly. It's not me. But anyway, so this has my name on it, but it does say Classic Gaming Quarterly. But anyway, anybody, if you want one of these anywhere, I mean, I can ship one of these anywhere in the world. So,
I mean, you don't want everybody saying that they want one, because what if you don't have enough?
I got like 50 of them here, man. Like I'm not too worried. If it's first come first serve. If more people ask for one than how many I have, then some people just don't get one.
It's like a stamp. So that's not bad.
Oh yeah, like with the international first class postage stamp, you can ship a couple of ounces. That's why it's one of the reasons I made the stickers in the first place, is I can ship a sticker anywhere in the world for like $1. Versus like sending a T-shirt to like Europe cost me like $20, so it's not worth it. So yeah. Anyway, if anybody wants a card, email me. If you want to be added to the email list I'm trying to put together, email me. New Let's Read should be coming out in the next week or two. EGM #1, and I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget the Christmas live stream. Will be
did you
probably
tell people that we might do some Let's Reads together at some point in the future?
Well, I didn't mention it only because I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't want to get people excited. People get so excited, and I want to disappoint them. Oh, yeah, Corey's still busy or whatever.
It'd be cool to do it. I mean, once I'm all moved and set up.
Yeah. Yes. So like we did the live Let's Read together, and so we would like to do something like that, but it would just be. Well, we wouldn't be together, but it would.
It wouldn't be together, but it would be together. We'd record like on our good cameras probably, and
like I think we would probably be like video chatting on Discord so we can hear each other, but like you would be recording yourself with your good camera, and then after the read through you would send me the footage so that when I when I edit it together, it didn't look like we were just having a Discord chat, which wouldn't look as nice. So
right.
So yeah, that would be cool. So We were talking about maybe if I can find a copy, a cool first one to do together would be Sega Vision's issue #1.
I can't believe you said that one is like $90.
Well, that's what they're asking. It's like, $90 or best offer, and it's like the only decent one on eBay right now. I'm gonna, we're not in a huge hurry because that also doesn't have to be the first one we ever do. So if I can find a decent one between now and whenever we're gonna do this, then I'll get it. And if not, I have a huge shelf full of magazines to choose from, so it's not a big deal.
It would be so cool to do that, and I have to rush through in the last quarter of the magazine.
Yeah, that was pretty annoying. Just because I like, when I do my magazine read-throughs, like they're generally quite a bit, like the raw footage is quite a bit longer. Mm-hmm. And then I end up editing it down. Like, okay, I was rambling too much here or whatever. And I can kind of, it's one of the reasons I like using a 2-camera setup is it makes it easier to hide the jump. You can hide the jump cuts. And I turn it into something I think that flows better and that people will want to watch more. But when I do that, like I can make it as long as I want and edit it down later. But, yeah. And I probably, whenever it is that I get ready to do that recording, I was going to make a little quick video just kind of giving people a tour of the new magazine recording setup because I think it's pretty.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, I hope so. So
does that mean that the comic book, the Avengers background is no longer going to be used?
Well, the thing is it's just a pillowcase, and so it's kind of sometimes it's hard to keep it flat.
Yeah,
and I use that for the last read through. I just used that cork. I got it at IKEA. It's like a cork desk pad. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, but some people were already kind of mentioning that. They missed the other thing, and it's kind of. I mean, that had some personality in the cork thing. I think the cork thing is kind of classy, but I understand what people are saying. But so I was trying to find something else that would be cool, and in fact, that was another thing I saw at this SAC Gamers Expo, is that somebody was selling. Because what I was thinking would be cool is, you can buy it's like a mouse pad, but it's like a whole desk pad. It's that same like neoprene or whatever material, but it's huge. It's like an oversized mouse pad, and you can get it in different colors. And I was thinking, well, if it just got a black one, that would be nice, just to have a black background. But then when I was at the gaming expo, somebody was selling them. I guess those are popular with people who play like Magic the Gathering and trading card games like that. And so he had a bunch with like different things on them, but they were all like Magic themed or fantasy. So that wouldn't work for me. But if I could find something else like that, that might be kind of neat. Or I could make something. But yeah, the pillowcase thing is probably gone. I think.
You're done with the pillowcase.
Well, I mean, the other thing I could do is I can go over to the fabric store and see what they always have tons of like licensed fabrics. They'll have like Nintendo licensed fabrics, comic book licensed fabrics, and maybe I could have my wife kind of make me something out of that's more rigid. Mm-hmm. Because the problem with this is it's just not rigid. It was literally a pillowcase, but the photo enlargement stand I was using, it has like a metal top. And then it came with all these magnetic strips. And so what I would do is I would stick these magnetic strips like inside the pillowcase, and those would kind of keep it flat. But now I'm just on a wooden table, so I don't have that anymore. So,
but now you're using the device that we used, that you made for the.
No. I got a whole new setup over here. I'm not using that device because that gets in the way of me having a proper second camera because of the way it's kind of set up. Like I want to have a camera pointed at my face, and there's not really a good way for me to do that without having like this gray PVC pipe in the frame.
Yeah.
So I got something. This is actually even a lot nicer than that. If you want, I can show it to you real quick after we end the stream. I don't want to show it to everybody else because I'm going to make a proper video about it, but I can just show it to you for real quick.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream now. It's been 3 hours and 40 minutes.
So everyone who donated
yeah, thank you very much for the donations and
sticking around for the long haul.
Yes, this was a long one. So, and of course, thanks to Corey for hopping on the stream.
Thanks for letting me do it at such short notice.
Yeah. So Probably the next stream will be the Christmas stream, I would guess, in a couple of weeks. So, Christmas is 2 weeks from today. Shoot, so it'll be less than 2 weeks. So that'll definitely be the next live stream, and on top of that, you're going to get the Christmas special with all the presents and everything, and the Sega Genesis Mini giveaway. So that'll be pretty awesome. So, thanks again, everybody, and have a good night, and we will see you guys next time.